From Gov Fuller Field in Falmouth, Massachusetts, it's Game 15 of the Cape Cod Baseball League season as the Kettleers travel to Falmouth for the first time this year to take on the Commodores as they do battle for the second time. Hi, everybody, and welcome back into the Kettleers Radio Network. I'm Joe Pratt, joined alongside, as always, by my broadcast partner, Alex Rocco. And we are here on July 3rd, the first edition of a home-and-home series between the Kettleers and the Commodores as they take to the field right now in what should be a really fun few days, Alex.
It definitely should be, and this is a Falmouth team that is really starting to play good baseball. They came in the first time they played against the Kettleers. They had lost 4 consecutive games. They dropped that game, but after losing 5 straight, they've won 3 of the last 5. Their record has improved to 4-10. So this is definitely going to be a tough test for this Cotuit squad.
Yeah, it absolutely will be as they're taking on Matthew Dallas for the second time this year. He went just over 3 innings the last time facing the Kettleers in his first start of the summer. So they get their second looks against him, and how will they line up against the lefty who's currently in the transfer portal?
Leading things off is the third baseman Nolan Naraki, batting second and playing first base Tanner Thatch. Making his Cotuit debut this season, the designated hitter Cannon Peebles. Hitting in the cleanup spot and playing shortstop Timo Becerra, batting fifth, and in right field Nathan Hall. Batting sixth and in left field is Brandon Compton. Hitting seventh behind the dish is the catcher Grant Jay. Hitting eighth is the second baseman Jaron Advincula, and rounding out this Kettleer order is the center fielder Kien Vu.
So some changes as we saw the same infield for the last 10 games, Alex. Cotuit kind of changing up their lineup, Hall moving back, Advincula taking a couple steps back in the lineup after being at sixth yesterday. Compton's back in the lineup, and he's in there for his eighth straight start in left field. Nolan Naraki batting in the leadoff spot once again was there in last night's game against Orleans, and it'll be his seventh game as the leadoff hitter for the Cats so far this year. Let's go ahead and take a look at that Falmouth infield right now as Isaiah Barquette receives balls from his infield. He plays at first base. Jackson Willits plays second out of Oklahoma. Gavin Keelan gets another start against the Cats. He's out of Louisville and plays shortstop. Dylan Carey, the hot corner at third. Luke Gaffney, second in the league in batting average. Actually, second on this team and third in the league, but he plays in left field. Gavin Turley in straightaway center. And Donovan LaSalle plays in right field. Carson Bowen throwing that one down to second base right now as he is ready to go. And Nolan Naraki will be stepping in from the right side to face Dallas for the first time. So as mentioned, Matthew Dallas going 3 1/3 innings against this Cotuit lineup his last time out. Didn't give up any runs, 2 hits, 3 walks, 3 strikeouts. Rocky batting from the right side, facing the tall lefty Dallas. His first pitch is a breaking ball down the heart of the plate for strike one. First pitch at 6 p.m. local time. And great weather above Gov Fuller Field today. Pretty much no clouds in the sky, completely clear and warm. Couldn't ask for much more. The 0-1 pitch from Matthew Dallas, another breaking ball. Up and inside, Nolan Naraki takes. It's 1-1. So Nolan Naraki spending the last couple seasons at Clemson, but recently announcing that he'll join his Clemson teammate Nathan Hall and going to South Carolina this fall. Infield and outfield playing straight up, and the 1-1 pitch from Dallas. Rocky takes down low, a called strike one. Excuse me, strike two, 1-2 in the count.
Had to think Nathan Hall's transfer destination definitely affected Nolan Naraki. Heard all this summer their best friends played together at Clemson, played together last summer on the Vineyard, and of course here in Cotuit.
Now down in the count 1-2. And now sends dribbler on the right side to the first baseman Barquette. He backhands it, now flips across his body, and covering the base there, Matthew Dallas to get the first out of the top of the first inning.
Naraki just with a slow dribbler on that right side of the infield. A nice play by the first baseman Barquette, but a good job by the pitcher Dallas falling off the mound to the opposite side, so making the long run over to first base in time to nab the speedy Naraki.
Now here's Tanner Thatch. 2 of his last 14 at the plate with a league leading now fourth home run last night. He takes a breaking ball down low in the zone, strike one. Tied for first in the league with 4 bombs, leads this team with 4, and a solo shot last night. His only offense went 1 for 4. The 0-1 pitch to him, another breaking ball that he goes after and chases after it. It's 0-2. So perfect breaking ball there from Matthew Dallas, who gets Thatch to fan and miss at one, low and away. And in this lefty on lefty battle, he's now down 0-2. The 0-2 serving as a fastball down the heart of the plate and called a ball one. Matthew Dallas and the entire Falmouth infield can't really believe that call.
The catcher Carson Bowen popped up, thought he was going to throw that down to third base, thought Tanner Thatch was down on 3 strikes, but called the ball.
Thatch has another chance at 1-2. Here it comes. A breaking ball nearly hits him. He backs up out of the way of it, and it's 2-2. So the infield will play slightly to the pull side for Thatch. First baseman Barquette about 4 feet off the line at first. Third baseman way off the line at third. The 2-2 pitch. Thatch watches a fastball go by low and away, and he has worked this count full. So from 0-2 now to 3-2, and Tanner Thatch working this count once more, but it's not new territory for the first baseman out of UNCW. Payoff pitch. Hammered on the ground in the infield, but right at the shortstop Gavin Keelan, who throws to first. Well in time to get Thatch running up the line there. So 2 up, 2 down so far for Dallas and the Commodores.
Pretty good at bat work by Thatch there. Battled back in the count, started down 0-2, but laid off some tough pitches from the lefty Matthew Dallas and put a good swing on it. But Gavin Keelan just so consistent in the infield, make those plays 9 out of 10 times.
Yeah, Gavin Keelan, an incredible player, returning to Falmouth this summer. Out of Louisville, but also played for the Commodores just a year ago. And Cannon Peebles is the batter. He fouls that one straight back over the netting. He's down in the count 0-1. Peebles getting his first start of the 2024 campaign. Of course, donning the pinstripes in the summer of 23. But a different number this year for Peebles as the 0-1 pitch hits him on the left shoulder. Or maybe it caught that left elbow guard, but he's on his way to first with a hit by pitch.
That made a sound off of it. Cannon Peebles with a bat flip after getting hit by a pitch. Just said a couple of words to the catcher Carson Bowen, but he reaches in his first plate appearance.
Peebles was coming off of an incredible freshman campaign at NC State, where he batted above 300 and then made the move to the transfer portal, found his way to Tennessee this season, where he played in 54 games there. And of course, winning a national championship with the Volunteers. He takes a short lead at first. Dallas taking a look at him, working from the stretch. Timo Becerra is the next batter, and he fouls off the first pitch he sees, straight back into the screen. So Timo Becerra, also a new insertion into this lineup, his second start and first in the field. So we mentioned 10 straight games with that Kettleers infield being the same. Tyler Cerny not in the lineup today. Becerra will play it short for him. Now he takes a breaking ball low and inside. Count evens up at 1-1.
Cerny had been struggling over the last 5 games, just 2 hits, 2 for 21, and been hitting the ball hard, but Mike Roberts switching things up and getting Timo Becerra some playing time in the infield.
Becerra, right-handed hitter. Peebles takes off. The pitch is a strike. Throw down to second is not in time. So Cannon Peebles already making an impact in his first game this summer. Picks up a stolen base, did that just twice this past season at Tennessee. So now with a runner in scoring position, Matthew Dallas will take time. Steps back on the back of the rubber. He is about to deliver his 16th pitch of this first inning. A 1-2 count to Timo Becerra, who in the back of the box waves the bat above his right shoulder. He awaits. And the fastball is rolled on the ground towards short. A broken bat. It takes a funky hop. Keelan fields it all the way and throws on the run to get Becerra there. So the Kettleers put one man in scoring position. They leave him there. 0-0 your score as we go to the bottom of the first here on the Kettleers Radio Network.
Beacon Gardens is a full-service garden center right here in Mashpee. They sell a variety of landscaping materials and seasonal produce to both consumers and landscaping professionals around the Barnstable Village. Stop by and see all Beacon Gardens has to offer at 182 West Barnstable Road in Austerville.
Bortolotti Construction is your go-to provider for all excavation, drainage, and waterworks services. On top of that, they offer landscape filling materials such as sand, native stone, gravel, shells, and more. Serving Cape Cod and the islands for 30 years, Bortolotti Construction is committed to serving its community. Visit at 45 Industry Road in Marston's Mills or call 508-771-9399.
Coastal Rentals is the place to go for professional landscape and construction equipment. Whether you need tools and equipment for commercial use or for your own projects, Coastal Rentals has what you need. Purchasing gear is also available. Check out Coastal Rentals today.
Bottom of the first inning from Gov Fuller Field. Kettleers taking to the field for the first time, and how will the Commodores line up against James Ellwanger and Cotuit?
The leadoff man is the second baseman, Jackson Willits, hitting second and playing shortstop, Gavin Keelan, hitting third, and getting the start in left field is the ever-dangerous Luke Gaffney. Hitting in the cleanup spot and playing at the hot corner is Dylan Carey. Hitting fifth and the designated hitter, Trent Caraway. In center field and hitting sixth, Gavin Turley. Playing in right and batting seventh, Donovan LaSalle. Behind the dish and hitting eighth is Carson Bowen, and rounding out this Falmouth order is the first baseman, Isaiah Barquette.
And they will face James Ellwanger, who was supposed to start in Cotuit's game against Hyannis on Sunday afternoon. Of course, that game being rained out and postponed to July 11th. And of course, that brings back some memories from last summer where Cotuit coming down here for the second game of this home and home series on the 4th of July, and it just downpoured in that top of the third inning, I believe it was. There was one out in the inning, a runner was on second base, and it was an 0-1 count to T.O. Banks. But then a downpour ended that contest. They had to resume the game on July 6th, in which the Kettleers would eventually fall 12-2. So that was the last 4th of July, and here we are a year later, and great weather so far, and the Kettleers about to start off this bottom of the first against Falmouth.
Supposed to be great weather tomorrow, too. Right now it's 73 and sunny. Tomorrow, 76 and sunny. So should be two great games here in Falmouth and Cotuit.
Two very different teams who have had two very different starts to the season, but of course, it's a new month, and how you perform in June, it likely isn't as important compared to how you perform in July. And so far, Cotuit 0-1 in the month of July, Falmouth 1-0. So James Ellwanger is on the bump, glove in front of his face. Now he goes into his windup for a first pitch fastball that just misses outside. Ball one to Jackson Willits, who has hits in his last 4 games played going into this one. The lefty with an upright batting stance awaits. The 1-0 pitch from Ellwanger sails up and away, 2-0. So Willits playing in his 10th game so far this season. He's 12 for 31. A 387 average is second in the CCBL. Now he takes low and inside, and it's 3-0. But something that could be overlooked as a leadoff hitter, 10 walks on the season. Incredibly high on base percentage for Willits, which obviously is important when you're batting at that one spot. The 3-0 pitch is low and outside, and there you go. He's on his way to first with his 11th walk of the season. And so Falmouth will start off this bottom of the first with a base runner.
Willits being patient at the dish, not seeing any pitches that really appealed to him from Ellwanger, as Ellwanger tried to pound the outside corner against him, but Willits laid off on all 4 pitches.
Yeah, Willits not having to work too hard in that first plate appearance of the day. Now a short lead at first. Tanner Thatch holds him on there, looking straight into the sun as some shadows cast their way across the third base side. The first pitch to Gavin Keelan is hit high in the air towards left center field. Tracking under it, Brandon Compton. He's called off by Kian Vu, who brings it down in the alleyway for the first out. So 1 pitch, 1 out against Gavin Keelan, and that's a nice way to respond for James Ellwanger after losing the first batter on 4 pitches.
Definitely a much-needed out for Ellwanger there, but an interesting decision to swing by Keelan, especially after Ellwanger started out with 4 straight balls. Usually want to be patient, take a strike here, but Keelan ultra-aggressive, but just gets underneath it.
Yeah, you mentioned Keelan's aggressiveness. The guy who's played in 6 games so far this season as the new batter, Luke Gaffney, ropes that one to left field. It takes a 1 hop off the glove of Brandon Compton. He locates it in front of him as Gaffney was thinking about second. He puts the brakes on there, will return to third. Willits is in safely into third. Gaffney back to first, and they'll have runners on the corners with 1 gone.
Compton came in on that ball in left field, but just sort of put the brakes on it. And when he tried fielding the ball, it took a funky hop off of him. Gaffney took a wide turnaround first, but easily gets back in safely. So now a tough spot for James Ellwanger with runners on the corners and just one out.
Yeah, Elwanger will be throwing to Dylan Carey, also a guy who has swung a hot bat at the top of this Falmouth lineup. Second on the team in hits with 14, behind the man who just knocked his 19th of the season to take a CCBL lead. The first pitch is a fastball up and inside. Carey twists away from it, and it's 1-0. So Luke Gaffney takes his lead at first, just knocking his 19th hit, passing Jaron Advincula for the CCBL lead. They'll have runners on the corners. Ellwanger working from the stretch. The 1-0 pitch is a fastball outside, 2-0. So he falls behind in the count once again here against Dylan Carey, who went 1 for 4 his last time out against the Kets. Righty on righty matchup. Ellwanger's 2-0 offering. And Carey takes a breaking ball that was on a string, falls low and inside at 78 miles an hour. Count 2-1. Perfect location there, and nothing Carey could do with that pitch. And now from the right side of the box, slightly choking up on his bat, he awaits the 2-1 pitch. Rope down the left field line, past Timo Becerra and into left field. That'll score the first run of the ball game. Gaffney is up to second, and Dylan Carey has driven in his 8th run of the summer.
This is something that we've seen a lot from the Kettleers, falling behind early in games. Now the 5th consecutive game that Cotuit has found themselves not scoring the game's opening run, as Dylan Carey just hopped on a pitch from Ellwanger there and roped it into left field for the RBI single.
So the Kettleers not scoring the first run in a ball game once again. Didn't do that last night. And now Ellwanger coming set, facing Trent Carraway for the first time. He gets his first looks against the Kets. The right-handed swinger takes low and outside, backhanded by Jay. That one was headed towards the backstop if he didn't make an acrobatic play to stop it. Nice play by him, and it's 1-0 to Carraway. So the runners are on first and second. One run is already in for Falmouth. Ellwanger's 1-0 is up high, and it's 2-0. So Carraway, an opportunity here to keep this rally going for Falmouth in the bottom of the first, the 2-0 pitch. And Ellwanger dials in a breaking ball inside for strike one. Just plays that one right off the left shoulder of Carraway, working nicely in this righty-on-righty matchup. Carraway coming off of a monster freshman season at Oregon State, built for moments just like this, as the 2-1 pitch from Ellwanger is a fastball up high and called to ball 3.
Ellwanger struggled to find the zone early on, 14 pitches, just 5 strikes so far, and fell behind here against the dangerous Trent Carraway.
Carraway batting .339 in 18 games at Oregon State this past season. The 3-1 pitch from Ellwanger. It finds the dirt, blocked by Jay, and the runners will move up. So Falmouth loads the bases in this bottom of the first inning, brings up Gavin Turley. And that draws Mike Roberts out of the Kets dugout.
Now Ellwanger has just struggled with control early on so far today. 15 pitches, 5 strikes, 10 balls. Not how you want to begin a ball game here, and especially after giving up that RBI single against Dylan Carey, finding himself in another tough spot with the bases juiced and still just 1 out.
That's somewhat uncharted territory so far for Ellwanger. Has allowed some base runners at times, but made his debut against Wareham, pitching just over an inning there. Gave up 2 hits, walked 1, and struck out 4. The only run he's given up on the season was unearned, so he's done a good job of keeping runners off the base paths, and I'm sure that Mike Roberts right here is just talking to him about trying to pound the zone and pitching to that weak contact. Of course, if you can pitch to any contact at all, it can be beneficial. Just needs to trust his defense. So that mound visit will conclude. Mike Roberts heads to the third base side. Cotuit in that third base dugout wearing their maroon road uniforms. Cotuit in navy blue lettering across the front and the white and maroon pinstripe pants as always. Falmouth with their home whites with red piping down either side of the pants, maroon Falmouth lettering across the front. So now with the corners in, Araki and Thatch up on the grass with the middle infielders back. Gavin Turley digs in. The bases are juiced with one gone. Ellwanger working from the windup throws a fastball beneath the knees of Turley, and it's 1-0. So Gavin Turley also enters this game out of Oregon State, and now takes another pitch down low, and it's 2-0. So a big reason that Ellwanger is struggling in this inning could be falling behind in counts. So he does so again here against Gavin Turley, the center fielder today. 2-0 from Ellwanger is a fastball upstairs, 3-0.
He's trying to work at the top of the strike zone, back-to-back fastballs at the top to Turley, but he's just wisely laying off against Ellwanger, who's just looking for a strike.
His 3-0 misses up high, not close, and Gavin Turley's on his way to first as the second run of this ball game will come in and score. Luke Gaffney from third as the bases will stay loaded.
This really isn't something we've seen from Ellwanger this year. Came into today with one walk through 5 innings and has had great control so far this year as he falls behind again here against Donovan LaSalle. So 5 consecutive balls.
Yeah, missing up high again. The first pitch to Donovan LaSalle. And now the 1-0 pitch. This one finds the bottom of the zone. That time with the breaking ball, and Ellwanger evens it up at 1-1. Of course, going into this game, 62% strikes. 54 of his 87 pitches finding the zone. As the next pitch, a check swing, and he did go, says the first base umpire. So Donovan LaSalle falls back in the count 1-2. As that was a good pitch up in the zone, probably wouldn't have been called a ball, but it ties him up, and LaSalle facing this 1-2 count takes a fastball for a called strike 3. Much needed 90 miles an hour perfect paint job on the outside corner to get Donovan LaSalle for the second out of this bottom of the first. The bases will remain loaded for Carson Bowen.
Like you said, Joe, a much needed out for Ellwanger there. Attacked LaSalle on the inside portion of the plate and then just got him looking on the outside fastball.
Ellwanger's first pitch to the next batter, Carson Bowen, is inside. He turns off the plate. 76 on the gun. Bowen enters this game, went 1 for 4 against the Kettleers the last time these two teams met. Drove in a run on an RBI single early on in that ball game. Of course, Falmouth scoring 2 runs early in that game, and Cotuit with all 4 of their runs coming after the 6th inning. As the 1-0 pitch from Ellwanger misses everything, it's off the glove of Jay. Back to the brick backstop. Runner coming home and scoring from third, Dylan Carey, and it's 3-0 Commodores.
That was a high fastball that just got away from Ellwanger and clipped off the glove of Grant Jay and easily allowing Carey to come in and score.
So now with 2 runners in scoring position, a 3-0 lead Falmouth. Ellwanger trying to escape this inning. Infield is playing straight up, slightly to the pull side for the right-handed swinging Bowen. In the back of the box, the 2-0 pitch. He takes a breaking ball that misses low, and it's 3-0. So the third 3-0 count thrown here by Ellwanger in the first inning has allowed 3 walks, 2 singles, struck out 1 and caused 1 to fly out. He's working from the stretch, and the 3-0 pitch is a get-me-over fastball, low and inside, strike 1. 91 on the gun from Ellwanger, who's working quickly, trying to get out of this bottom of the first frame. Brings that light blue glove just in front of his belt. And the 3-1 is a fastball on a high chop up the middle. Advincula on the backhand behind the bag, throws on the run, and it's in time at first for out number 3. A major play made by Jaron Advincula to stop the Falmouth rally right where it was at. 3 runs on 2 hits, no errors for the Kettleers, and we send it to the top of the second inning here on the Kettleers Digital Network.
Since 1980, the O'Rourke family has been catering Cape Cod clam bakes, making your events delicious and memorable. Founded by Jake O'Rourke, Jake's Clam Bakes has become a beloved tradition, now carried on by his son, Dan. Choose from our menu options, and on the day of your clam bake, their crew will come to your site and steam a fresh, mouth-watering clam bake just for you. It's that easy. Call us at 833-252-6285 or visit our new takeout location at Building 6 on 3821 Route 28 in Marston's Mills. Email us at dan@jakesclambakes.com with your event details, number of guests, date, time, location, and any special requests like a raw bar, homemade desserts, or kids menu. Not catering? Try their takeout menu featuring lobster rolls, smash burgers, salads, sandwiches, and a smoothie bar. Jake's Clam Bakes, making Cape Cod gatherings unforgettable.
Bortolotti Construction is your go-to provider for all excavation, drainage, and waterworks services. On top of that, they offer landscape filling materials such as sand, native stone, gravel, shells, and more. Serving Cape Cod and the islands for 30 years, Bortolotti Construction is committed to serving its community. Visit at 45 Industry Road in Marston's Mills or call 508-771-9399. Matthew Dallas will face 5, 6, and 7 here in this top of the second inning. Falmouth scoring 3 runs on 2 hits. They did leave 2 runners in scoring position in that bottom of the first, but not the start that the Kettleers were looking for in Game 1 of this 4th of July series between the Commodores and the Ketts. Falmouth up 3-0 early on, and now in the top of the second, here's Nathan Hall to lead things off. Facing Matthew Dallas, who goes into his windup, and the lefty throws a breaking ball that falls in at bell tight at 72 miles an hour to Nate Hall. 0-1. Infield playing straight up. Dallas wasting no time, throws the next pitch, and it's fouled straight back into off the glove of Carson Bowen. Pops out, and it's 0-2 on Hall. So much differently than James Ellwanger in that first inning. Dallas getting ahead in the count.
Dallas has worked quickly early in this game. In that first inning, 16 pitches, 10 strikes, has done a good job commanding the strike zone as he gets ahead of Nathan Hall here.
Matthew Dallas set with the black glove just above his belt on the third base side of the rubber. Takes a deep breath and now throws the 0-2 pitch. Hall hammers that one into left field. Luke Gaffney tracking back a few steps and pulls down that one just by his left shoulder for out number 1 here in this top of the second.
Hall gave that ball a ride just right at the left fielder Luke Gaffney, who just had to take a couple of steps to haul that ball in for the first out of the inning.
So here's Brandon Compton. It'll be a lefty on lefty matchup. Compton making his 8th straight start for the Ketts in left field. First pitch from Dallas. Just misses low and outside. Compton ahead in the count 1-0. Going into this at-bat, batting .267 on the summer. Now he gets ahead of this one, sends it off the end of his bat into center field. Turley tracking left a couple of steps, reaches up and pulls down the second out.
Compton getting well underneath that last pitch from Dallas, skying that into straightaway center field. So 2 flyouts for Dallas here is making quick work of the middle of this Kettleer lineup.
Now facing Grant J. 7th batter in this Ketts lineup, went 1 for 4 yesterday. And now takes down low in the dirt, 1-0. 1 for 4 with a double, run scored, and 3 strikeouts for Jay. That's something that he's been working on since coming up here this summer. As a 1-0 pitch, fanned through, low in the zone, 1-1. Working with Mike Roberts, diligently trying to fix his hands, tried out lowering his hands, and for a little bit that resulted in a lot more quality at bats for Jay. A few home runs as well. But of recent games, has really struggled at the plate as Matthew Dallas will step off the back of the rubber, take time with this 1-1 count. And that's going to be a pitch clock violation. Is that right?
I believe it is.
Heard that from the home plate umpire. It's not on the scoreboard yet. It would make it a 2-1 count. But the next pitch to Jay is a fastball that misses low and inside, so that should send the count to 3-1 now. And yes, it is. So that was a pitch clock violation, not the first we've seen this season. Of course, the scoreboard in left field is catching up. But now Matthew Dallas is set. The 2-1 pitch to Grant Jay. He gets underneath it, rockets it down the left field line, and foul. Thought he got underneath it, but that was just a scorching line drive.
Jay crushed that ball, just was well out in front on it. But if he waits back just a couple of seconds later, straightens that ball out, that could be crushed in the gap.
Now a full count. Pitch from Dallas. Jay takes in the dirt, and that's going to be ball 4. So Grant Jay extends this top of the second inning. Reaches first by way of the walk, and Jaron Advincula will have more looks on Matthew Dallas.
And a nice at bat by Grant Jay there, extending the inning, working deep into the count. Of course, had that rocket line drive, and it's a big at bat for Jay. Like you mentioned, Joe has been struggling over the last 2 games, 7 strikeouts over the last 2, and I know it's been something he's been working on with Mike Roberts, but always a good sign to see him getting on base via the walk.
Something that the Kets have done well all season is produce base runners and extending innings for pitchers, and that's exactly what's happening here with Dallas on the mound, who throws a fastball in the dirt to Jaron Advincula for ball 1. Advincula entering this game the hottest hitter in the Cape Cod Baseball League, batting at a clip above 400. Well in front in the CCBL batting average standings as the runner goes to second. The throw down, and Jay is safe with the feet first slide. Jay beats out the throw from Carson Bowen, and they'll put another runner in scoring position, their second stolen base of the game. And second stolen base of the season for Grant Jay. As he takes his lead on second, Dallas taking a look there, and from the stretch, throws to Advincula. The 1-1 is a breaking ball. Advincula rolls a high chop towards first base. Barquette waits on it for a second and then makes the play at first unassisted to end the top of the second inning. So the Kettleers once again put a runner in scoring position with 2 outs. They leave him there and trail 3-0 as we go to the bottom of the second here on the Kettleers Radio Network. When the unexpected happens, make sure you and your assets are insured appropriately. The agents at Leonard Insurance Agency can tailor coverage to meet your needs. Call 508-428-6921 to talk to their licensed agents today. Back from Gov Fuller Field, Commodores off to a hot start in this 15th game of the season. It's exactly what they did the last time these two teams met, of course, scoring the first 2 runs of that ball game. Cotuit being silenced in the first half of that one, mainly by Matthew Dallas in the front half of this Falmouth bullpen. But Cotuit playing from behind once more. The first batter that Ellwanger will face in this bottom of the second is Isaiah Barquette, and he takes a ball 1. Ellwanger struggling to find the box in the first inning. 28 pitches, 10 of which were strikes. Now from the windup, His 1-0 is lifted into right center field, tracking back Hall, and he'll let it bounce. That'll get back to the fence. He gave it a run but couldn't quite get to it as the runner is chugging around second. Barquette is on his way to third. He'll be in there with the feet first slide, and not even a throw to be competitive with him there as he leads off this bottom of the second inning with a triple.
Isaiah Barquette just jumped on at second pitch that Ellwanger left right down the heart of the plate, and he made no mistake. His ball just rocketed into the right center field gap. Nathan Hall, the right fielder, overran it and had to track that ball all the way to the wall. And Barquette with great speed and ends up just on 90 feet away from being the fourth run early on for this Commodores offense.
Yeah, Barquette, a 190 hitter going into this ball game, was 4 for 21 before that triple, his first extra base hit of this summer. And now an 0-1 count faced for Jackson Willits, who swings and misses at the first pitch. And now the lefty awaits with the infield in for Cotuit as the 0-1 pitch misses low to elevate the count to 1-1. Scoreboard in left field is still catching up. It says 15 on the pitch clock as Ellwanger goes into his windup and throws. Misses down low, well beneath the knees of Willits, who walked his last time up to send the count to 2-1 here. So Falmouth sending 8 players to the plate in that first inning. Now back to the top half for Jackson Willits with nobody gone. The 2-1 pitch from Ellwanger is a breaking ball that falls low and inside, called a strike 2. Willits didn't like the call there.
Shook his head after that was called strike 2 as Ellwanger located that curveball right on the inner portion of the plate.
Ellwanger again, the pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3. Low in the zone with the fastball, Ellwanger dips beneath the zone, and Willits goes down on strikes for the first out of this bottom of the second.
A big first out for James Ellwanger there as Barquette still stands 90 feet away, but you get the first out here, and always a big one to nab.
First pitch is fouled straight back by Gavin Keelan. Yeah, it's a major strikeout there, given the leadoff man is on third now. Barquette with a leadoff triple, but to come back with that strikeout is key as the 0-1 pitch misses up and away to the left-handed swinging Keelan. Count evens up at 1-1 on the 91-mile-an-hour fastball. Now that punch-out pitch to Willits actually a changeup from Ellwanger. As that one's rolled on the ground towards Advincula, his throw home pulls Jay up the line. They got the runner on a rundown as Barquette is tagged out by Jay, now looking at second, but nobody's covering the bag, and Keelan will coast in there. And you can just hear Mike Roberts from his post at the dugout saying, "Good job, guys," and Advincula making the right play to get the lead runner at home. So cutting down any chance of that fourth run coming in to score. From third, they'll have a runner on second with 2 gone now.
That throw from Advincula actually helped out the Kettleers as it was up the third base line, allowing Jay to get a running start to nab Isaiah Barquette in that rundown. But heads up base running by Keelan to make it to second.
First pitch strike to Luke Gaffney, who just hit his 19th hit of the summer in his last at-bat in the first inning. Came around to score. And now another opportunity to drive in one more as the pitch. The 0-1 from Ellwanger is cut out and missed. Gaffney back to 0-2. This is exactly what you want to see from Ellwanger, who immediately after giving up the triple strikes out a batter and then draws some weak contact on the infield. Takes a look at second and a long pause before the 0-2. Fastball on the bottom half of the zone, called strike 3. The third of the day for James Ellwanger ends the bottom of the second inning. The Kettleers able to cut down the runner on third after he led off the inning with a triple, and they will strand one other runner in scoring position as Falmouth still leads 3-0 as we go to the top of the third inning. And for the first time today, we'll check in with the third member of our team, Adele Huffman, who has more.
Thanks, Joe. Looking into our own Timo Becerra from Stanford, this is his first start in the infield today. We've had 10 games in a row so far with the same infield, and we're switching it up a bit today, so it's good to see Timo out there. And when I asked him before the game what he's looking forward to the most, he said just winning, but ultimately having fun. And when asked about his routine for today, getting ready, he said he took a trip to the coop, which he usually does before a game, got himself some chocolate almonds and some Sour Patch watermelon to give him a bit of a sugar rush before the game. And he said he was feeling very festive today with July 4th just around the corner. So during early work at Lowell Park today, he was spotted wearing his American flag socks. So we'll have to get him to maybe take some pictures in those American flag socks tomorrow. But good to see that the guys are ready for our home game tomorrow on July 4th.
Yeah, Dell, it's going to be great. I mean, 4th of July at Lowell Park, can't ask for much more than that. And hopefully it's not just him showing his patriotism, of course, with those red, white, and blue socks. That'll go along with the sweet CCBL 4th of July cap that everyone gets. So things are looking up for 4th of July tomorrow, Alex. It's going to be awesome.
Should be such a great day and really cool to see them already. The socks are definitely a great look, but going back, that pregame meal, chocolate covered almonds and watermelon Sour Patch, it's an interesting combination. Seen some wild combinations from the Kettleers this summer.
Yeah, that's definitely not the worst, but maybe not the best, as Kian Vu leads off this inning. Skies one on the infield, just past the infield, and Gavin Keelan into the shadows pulls down the first out. One pitch, one out for Matthew Dallas in this top of the third, and the lineup card will flip back up to the top for Nolan Naraki.
Dallas continuing to have success against the Kettleers, and of course in that first start against Cotuit, only allowed 2 hits and 3 in a third, and hasn't allowed a hit today, just 2 base runners via a hit by pitch and a walk as we head through the second time in this Kettleer lineup.
Nolan Naraki takes a big cut at a first pitch breaking ball, 76 miles an hour from Dallas. And of course, it's important you mentioned now the second rotation around the order against Dallas. This can actually potentially be seen as the third or fourth rotation for some of these guys, having already faced him this season. Now takes a fastball down low, and the count 1-1 to Naraki. And so, of course, as popularized in Major League Baseball, facing guys for the third, fourth times, obviously statistically, batters are expected to perform much better. Naraki entering this game was 1-for-2 against Matthew Dallas. He's now 1-for-3. A single in the game against the Commodores at Lowell Park. As the 1-1 pitch from Dallas is another breaking ball, low and outside, and called a ball 2. 73 that time from Dallas. Now with the black glove above his belt from the windup, here's the 2-1. Naraki chases after a fastball up high, and it's 2-2. As the lights are on here at Gov Fuller Field now. Sun has yet to set, though, over our left shoulders. The 2-2 pitch is upcoming from Dallas. Here it comes. Naraki launches this one over the shortstop. Line drive into left field. Gaffney charging in, and he makes the grab. On the move, Luke Gaffney having to cover some ground to rob Nolan Naraki of a hit, who falls back to 0-for-2. And the Kettleers with 2 quick outs in this top of the third inning against Matthew Dallas.
Naraki hit that ball hard into left field, but a great diving or sliding grab by the left fielder Luke Gaffney, who charged that ball the entire way and making the grab for out number 2.
Tanner Thatch gets underneath the first pitch he sees and fouls it back up off the top of the netting. Yeah, great play by Luke Gaffney, who's proven that he can do it in the field and also at the plate, in the top 3 in batting average in the league. And now Tanner Thatch, the 0-1 pitch, misses low and outside. A ground out to short his first time up. 1-for-4 in last night's game, was 1-for-10 going into that contest. So here's the 1-1 from Dallas. Thatch fouls it straight back again. He just missed it. 89 on the gun with the fastball from Dallas, and it's 1-2. Of course, Tanner Thatch with a team leading 4 home runs now. Led his team at college this season with 27. The 1-2 pitch is a fastball that he swings at and comes up empty up in the zone for a 3-up, 3-down top of the third inning, worked by Matthew Dallas and the Commodores, who lead it 3-0 as we go to the home half of the third here on the Cats Radio Network.
Escape the summer heat at Polar Cave Ice Cream Parlor, located on Route 28 in Mashpee, right at the Barnstable town line. Our creamy, homemade ice cream flavors will delight your taste buds. Plus, Kettleers kids get a free cone on home game days. Call us at 508-477-5553 or email info@polarcave.com to learn more. Come chill with us and experience the coolest treats on Cape Cod.
RCA Electric and Generators is dedicated to helping homeowners and building contractors select, purchase, install, and maintain the ideal generator for their specific needs. Since being founded by Randy Agnew in 1990, this Barnstable-based family-run business has grown its reputation by serving all of Cape Cod, the South Shore, and the South Coast. Get in touch today by reaching out to RCA at 508-428-0449 or visit in person at 153 Commercial Street in Mashpee.
With 30-plus years of personal injury litigation and insurance negotiation experience, Snow Law Firm is your go-to for wrongful injuries and rightful compensation. Snow Law Firm will secure the maximum amount of compensation available through settlement or trial. Schedule a free case evaluation by calling 508-4.
Bottom of the third inning from Gov Fuller Field. Heart of the lineup will face James Ellwanger here in this home half of the third frame. So a 3-0 lead for Falmouth. They have 3 hits on the board, no errors either side. Cotuit still looking for that first hit. They have put 2 runners on base though. James Ellwanger into his windup, sends the first pitch home, and it's hit on the ground towards the left side, but Naraki, it's out of his reach with the backhand, 5 feet in foul ground. As the Kettleers dugout is on the third base side. After that, just a camera well and then no fencing down the left field line, much similarly to Yarmouth Dennis. As the 0-1 pitch is fouled straight back by Dylan Carey, it's 0-2. Where they don't have fencing down that left field line, fans just in their lawn chairs on the grassy berm. Some trees overhead, and then fans in the metal grandstands all the way down the right field line. They're looking straight into the sun as the 0-2 pitch from Ellwanger shook off a sign and then sends it home, and it's fouled straight back by Carey. It's a nice ballpark. They've been playing here since 1966. And now the 0-2 pitch from Ellwanger. Carey takes upstairs with the fastball. It's 1-2. They've held multiple different all-star games here at Gov Fuller Field amidst that span. And they'll host another one this season, the first time since 2003. Ellwanger's 1-2. Carey takes with the breaking ball. Unsure how much that missed by. Maybe a bit outside. It's 2-2. So Ellwanger with the glove shielding his face goes into his windup again and picks up his 4th strikeout of the afternoon. Draws a swing and miss from Dylan Carey on a breaking ball low and outside, and he falls back to 1 for 2 to pick up the first out of this bottom of the third.
That was a big strikeout for James Ellwanger, especially after getting ahead in the count, 0-2, a couple of foul balls, and then going behind in the count, but battling back and getting the strikeout of Carey, who's been swinging a hot bat, had an RBI single back in the the bottom of the first, but good job by Ellwanger there.
So Ellwanger gets that first out of the bottom of the third inning. Mike Roberts is out of the Kettleers dugout and standing on the mound right now with the rest of the infield, who is welcoming in the first pitcher out of the bullpen for the Kettleers today. James Ellwanger's day is done. He pitches 2 1/3 of an inning, giving up 3 runs on 3 hits. We'll take a quick break from Gov Fuller Field. New arm in the game for the Ketts as they trail 3-0 in the bottom of the third. Don't go anywhere.
Since 1980, the O'Rourke family has been catering Cape Cod clam bakes, making your events delicious and memorable. Founded by Jake O'Rourke, Jake's Clam Bakes has become a beloved tradition, now carried on by his son, Dan. Choose from our menu options, and on the day of your clam bake, their crew will come to your site and steam a fresh, mouth-watering clam bake just for you. It's that easy. Call us at 833-252-6285 or visit our new takeout location at Building 6 on 3821 Route 28 in Marston's Mills. Email us at dan@jakesclambakes.com with your event details, number of guests, date, time, location, and any special requests like a raw bar, homemade desserts, or kids menu. Not catering? Try their takeout menu featuring lobster rolls, smash burgers, salads, sandwiches, and a smoothie bar. Jake's Clam Bakes, making Cape Cod gatherings unforgettable.
Coastal Rentals is the place to go for professional landscape and construction equipment. Whether you need tools and equipment for commercial use or for your own projects, Coastal Rentals has what you need. Purchasing gear is also available. Check out Coastal Rentals today.
Plumbing and Heating, proud sponsor of the Cotuit Kettleers.
So that's the end of the line for James Ellwanger in the midst of this third inning. Pitches against one batter, Dylan Carey, picks up his fourth strikeout of the day, second swinging, and now that makes way for Colton Hartman to make his third appearance of the summer. Just finished up his freshman campaign at Louisville, and he will face Trent Caraway in the middle of this Falmouth lineup. Caraway, a right-handed hitter out of Oregon State, walked his first time up, made it all the way to third, but was left stranded there. And now with one gone, he's the first man to face Colton Hartman. The lefty deals from the windup. An 83-mile-an-hour pitch low in the zone, called to strike one. Caraway, right-handed hitter, upright batting stance from the right side. Gets underneath one, sends a twisting foul ball high and out of play to the right, falls back in the count 0-2. So we were talking about his numbers at Oregon State. His last at-bat, .339 hitter, was able to appear in about a third of their ball games, though. Missed 4 to 8 weeks with a broken finger. And now he drills one hard down the right field line. Sliding play by Nathan Hall, and he grabbed it. Tracking that one down all the way down the right field line behind the Falmouth bullpen and into the stone dust. Nathan Hall gets dirty and picks up out number 2.
What a play by Nathan Hall out in right field. Had a beat on that ball the entire way, but went into the dive looking like Superman out in right field, making an outstanding grab, and he ran a long way to haul in that ball for the second out of the inning.
Deep into foul territory. Of course, there's a lot of that down the right field line. It gets skinnier as you go closer to the foul pole on either side, but a lot of space because that home bullpen is down the right field line, whereas the visiting bullpen is behind the fence in left field. So the first pitch to Gavin Turley hit the zone. It's 0-1. Infield steps back with 2 outs in the inning. The lefty throws. An 0-1 pitch is sent high just beyond the infield. Thatch ranging back, battling the sun. They're called off by Hall, who makes the grab, leaning over Jaron Advincula. So another nifty play by Nathan Hall, who is charging in from right field to make that grab. 3 up, 3 down by James Ellwanger, and then Colton Hartman to finish off the Commodores in the bottom of the third inning. Cats still trail 3-0 as we go to the fourth on the Cats Radio Network. For nearly 2 decades, Coastal Irrigation has proudly provided top-notch irrigation and landscape lighting services across Cape Cod. Starting with just a handful of customers in Cotuit, they now serve nearly all of the Cape. Upgrade your lawn care with their modern irrigation systems. No more dragging around hoses or worrying about watering while you're away. Their systems ensure your grass stays healthy and green effortlessly. Transform your home with Coastal Irrigation's landscape lighting services. Enhance your outdoor gatherings, improve safety, and boost curb appeal with their affordable, low-voltage lighting solutions.
illuminate your walkways, and highlight architectural details to make your home shine. Contact Coastal Irrigation at 508-428-1529 or info@coastalirrigation.net.
Discover a treasure of nearly 70,000 books at the Isaiah Thomas bookstore right here in Cotuit. Founded in 1969 and relocated to a restored 1860s Crocker family house in 1990, their shop is a haven for book lovers of any age. Visit the Isaiah Thomas bookstore on 4632 Falmouth Road in Cotuit or contact at 508-428-2752.
When the unexpected happens, make sure you and your assets are insured appropriately. The agents at Leonard Insurance Agency can tailor coverage to meet your needs. Call 508-428-6921 to talk to their licensed agents today. Top of the fourth inning, Cannon Peebles will lead off for the Kettleers against Matthew Dallas, who returns for his fourth inning of work. Has allowed no hits in his first 3 frames and now facing Peebles for the second time. Peebles, right-handed hitter, takes a strike 1. Peebles, a switch hitter batting from the right side, was one of 2 batters that Dallas was unable to retire through his first rotation of this batting order. And so now he takes low and outside. 1-1 the count to Cannon Peebles. Saw just 2 pitches from Dallas last time before taking a hit by pitch off his left shoulder. Also stole second where he was left. Now the 1-1 from Matthew Dallas. Swing and a miss. 82. Dallas climbing the ladder with the breaking ball and now ahead in the count. 1-2 on Cannon Peebles, who played in over 10 games for the Cats last year, and the 1-2 pitch is up high and away to the right-handed swinging Peebles. It's 2-2. A 179 hitter, 7 hits, a double. Drove in 5. Against the Commodores, 2 for 11. 2-2 pitch. Peebles goes down on strikes. Swings through a 90-mile-an-hour fastball. Matthew Dallas has another one on the day, his second in a row to start off this top of the fourth.
Dallas has just done a great job commanding the strike zone, getting ahead of Peebles here and just blowing a fastball right by him, is picking up back-to-back strikeouts here, and he's just really done a good job carving up this Kettleer lineup.
Here's Timo Becerra. First pitch he sees is rolled straight back up the middle to Jackson Willits. His throw to first is in time to get Becerra running up the line there. So he goes 0 for 2 with 2 groundouts. And now Nate Hall will dig in.
Just 46 pitches for Dallas here through 3 2/3 as the Kettleers have been aggressive in the box, but just have not seen the results, as still looking for their first hit of the ballgame.
Here's Nathan Hall, making a couple stellar plays in right field last inning to draw the first 3-up, 3-down inning for the Kettleers. He takes a ball outside here, 1-0 against Dallas. Dallas retiring now 6 straight batters against the Cats. The 1-0 pitch. Hall takes at 82 in the bottom part of the zone to even it up at 1-1. So working very efficiently is Matthew Dallas, as his 1-1 pitch is sent high down the right field line just over the Commodores dugout. And that'll barely or not even reach the first row of seats, kind of in between the back of the dugout and the grandstand. It's an all-metal grandstand. There's another one far down the right field line. In between there, fans sitting in their seats on the grassy berm. That's where the flag is placed, down just beyond first base. It's blowing towards straightaway center. 1-2 to Hall. Catches up with the 90-mile-an-hour fastball and laces it straight back. So Matthew Dallas, 1 pitch away from completing his 4th inning pitched in this start. His season long at Tennessee this season, 3 innings. 1-2. Hall puts one on the ground towards short, booted by Keelan as it pops out of his glove, and he will reach first. So unsure how they will score that one as of right now, Alex. But nonetheless, the Kettleers will have their 3rd base runner of this ball game. and that will go down as an error on the infield.
Hall hit that ball hard as Keelan came up with it. Just took his eye off the ball. As just hit off the heel of his glove there and kicked away. And we talked about it earlier in the broadcast, just how smooth of a fielder Gavin Keelan is. Just a rare mistake from the shortstop.
So now working from the stretch, Matthew Dallas picks off towards first. Hall takes off. His head first slide into second is safe. Beating out the tag of Gavin Keelan. The throw was from the first baseman. Keelan thought they had Hall dead to rights at second, applied the tag halfway up, and he's able to reach in with kind of a freestyle swimmer's move to the top half of that bag to be safe for the third stolen base of this ball game for the Kets.
It was an excellent slide by Nathan Hall there. Like you mentioned, Joe, going with the swim move to avoid the tag of Keelan, and Keelan couldn't believe the call.
Neither could the rest of the Falmouth dugout, but now Dallas will be dealing with another runner in scoring position, and Brandon Compton takes outside 1-0. So the Kettleers just 3 base runners in this game so far, all of which have reached scoring position, and all for the same reason, a stolen base. 3 different guys who have done it all across the top, middle, and bottom of this order. So Compton with an opportunity with 2 gone and a runner in scoring position. The 1-0 pitch, he takes a breaking ball, low and inside, 2-0. Brandon Compton, a fly out to center field his last time up as shadows cast across the entire infield now from third base all the way over to first. As the 2-0 pitch from Dallas, after he takes a look at second, he throws. Misses outside, and Compton's ahead 3-0.
Compton's been a productive hitter with runners in scoring position this year. He's 4 for 15 with 8 RBIs, so Cotuit has the right guy up here in this spot.
Yeah, Compton 0 for 1 so far today, and as of last night has reached in 12 of his 12 starts so far this season. 6 for 24 in his last 7. And now the 3-0 pitch from Matthew Dallas is a get me over fastball down the heart of the plate. 89 miles an hour for a called strike 1. So the shadows kind of covering the front half of this infield, just the front of the mound. Matthew Dallas still in the sunshine along with most of his infielders. The trees down the left field line playing a big impact in that. As the 3-1 pitch from Dallas to Compton is flared high and down the left field line and out of play. So more on that error made by Gavin Keelan. That was 88 off the bat of Nathan Hall. So not an easy play for him to make, but he still gets charged with the error. Of course, all of those numbers being brought to you by TrackMan. Exit velocity, distance, and pitch speed and spin rates. Of course, all that data being hands-on. 3-2, taken low and outside. And ball 4 is issued to Brandon Compton to extend this 4th frame. So after getting 2 quick outs in the top half of this inning, Nathan Hall reaches on an error. Now Compton on a base on balls. They'll have runners on first and second for Grant J and a mound visit.
And the first baseman, Isaiah Barquette, thought that was strike 3 on Compton there. Started running toward the first base dugout here, but called a ball 4, and this is a big spot here. Runners on first and second. The first time Cotuit has had multiple runners on base here today, and Grant J, who worked a walk in his first at-bat, set to dig in.
Yeah, Grant J, a walk his last time up, a really promising at-bat for him, who, as you mentioned, has struggled in his last couple games with strikeouts and putting the ball in play, but good to see him see a lot of pitches, and hopefully he's able to learn from that first at-bat, take it into this second one, of course, against Matthew Dallas, who's talking things over with his entire infield, and pitching coach for Falmouth, Mike Landry. But how important is an at-bat like this? Of course, we've talked a little bit about momentum, but maybe momentum aside, just for Grant J personally, with 2 runners on, a chance to get back in this ball game.
I think it's a massive at-bat here as Matthew Dallas it took just 6 pitches to get through the first 2 batters of this inning, Cannon Peebles and Timo Becerra. But of course, Hall reaching on the error, Brandon Compton working the walk. But this is a big spot for Grant J here. We've talked about his struggles at the dish, 7 strikeouts over the last 2 games, but he's always been an ultra productive guy. Hit 21 home runs this past season, but a hit here could do wonders not only for his confidence, but for the Kettleers here, and really could catapult them back into this ball game.
So the mound visit concludes. Matthew Dallas is ready. He'll be working from the stretch. Comes set with the black glove just above his belt. Takes a look at Nathan Hall at second. And his first pitch home to Grant J. Misses low, 83 miles an hour, and J in the driver's seat 1-0 once more. After accepting the walk his last time up, he also stole second. And with runners on first and second, a big moment for him to uplift himself out of this slump. The righty facing the lefty Dallas, who takes a high leg kick and deals. It's a fastball low and inside the J, called to strike one. So J now evening up this count at 1-1 on Matthew Dallas, who works into his 4th inning of work. Of course, as mentioned, did not work beyond the 3rd inning in any of his games or any of his appearances this year at Tennessee. And now he gets a big swing and miss on a high fastball, and J goes back to 1-2. So Grant J with the light red barreled bat. He waves that over his right shoulder with runners on first and second. The 1-2 offering from Dallas. He takes a fastball low at knee height, 2-2. So another good eye there from Jay, as these balls not missing by much, but he's holding off.
That was a very tough take. That pitch just at the knees. Could have been called strike 3, but a disciplined take by Jay.
The payoff pitch once more. Dallas throws low and inside, and that's a called strike 3. Jay watches it go by, and he can't believe the call, but a perfect location by Matthew Dallas to get the 3rd out of the top of the 4th inning. So this time the Kettleers will strand 2 runners on the bases, and once more are unable to plate any runs. They trail 3-0 as we go to the bottom of the 4th on the Ketts Radio Network.
Willow Bend has been regarded as one of Cape Cod's and New England's premier private clubs and communities for over 25 years. Willow Bend is a family-friendly community right here in Cotuit. They strive for a fun and relaxed lifestyle with good times and good friends. Discover all that and more at Willow Bend.
For over 40 years, Vollmer & Son Construction has proudly served its community, providing a wide range of construction services, from bathroom renovations to complete home remodels. When you work with Vollmer & Son, you are being taken care of by natives of Cape Cod who support the community by using local suppliers and subcontractors. Vollmer & Son Construction, a proud sponsor of the Cotuit Kettleers.
With 30-plus years of personal injury litigation and insurance negotiation experience, Snow Law Firm is your go-to for wrongful injuries and rightful compensation. Snow Law Firm will secure the maximum amount of compensation available through settlement or trial. Schedule a free case evaluation by calling 508-477-7100.
RCA Electric and Generators is dedicated to helping homeowners and building contractors select, purchase, install, and maintain the ideal generator for their specific needs. Since being founded by Randy Agnew in 1990, this Barnstable-based family-run business has grown its reputation by serving all of Cape Cod, the South Shore, and the South Coast. Get in touch today by reaching out to RCA at 508-428-0449 or visit in person at 153 Commercial Street in Mashpee.
Back from Gov Fuller Field for the bottom of the 4th inning. We welcome you back in. Joe Pratt, Alex Rocco with you. Adele Huffman. Heard from her today. We'll hear from her at the end of the bottom half of this inning. And it is the bottom of the 4th inning. Falmouth getting their looks on Colton Hartman, the bottom half of this order, 7, 8, and 9, starting off with Donovan LaSalle. He has a wide open batting stance. From the right side, he awaits. Lefty Colton Hartman from the windup. He's back out there for a 2nd inning of work and dials in a first pitch strike at 91, up and away to LaSalle, who struck out looking his last time up. Pretty open stance from the right side as he waves that bat above his black helmet, and the 0-1 pitch to him. Gets a hold of this one, but rolls it on the ground towards Becerra, who's up with it, throwing from short. It's in time by 2 steps to get LaSalle there for a quick first out in this bottom of the 4th for Colton Hartman.
Excellent job so far by Colton Hartman. Came in and got 2 flyouts to right field. And then just the ground out here from Donovan LaSalle. 7 pitches, 7 strikes, and getting contact here and letting his defenders make plays for him.
Now here's Carson Bowen. Another lefty on right matchup. Hartman will take time off the back of the rubber, and now with the all-tan glove, lifts that just in front of his face from the windup. Here he comes. It's a fastball down in the dirt, backhanded by Grant J. 1-0 is the count to Bowen, who entered this game with 7 hits so far on the season. He's grounded out to second today. 2 runs driven in, still looking for that first extra base hit. The 1-0 pitch. Bowen takes low once more. Similar location and the same result, 2-0. Bowen out of TCU, coming off of a 2024 campaign where he started in all 51 games. Hit .235 with 43 hits, 38 driven in. Now the 2-0 pitch to him. Bowen gets a hold of this one, drives it to deep left field, going back on it. Compton reaching for the fence, looking up, and it's just over that screen fence in left field for a solo home run. Carson Bowen blasts that one just in front of the scoreboard for his first bomb of the summer and makes it a 4-0 ball game.
Well, Hartman fell behind Bowen and just left the pitch right over the heart of the plate as Carson Bowen made no mistake, blast his first home run of the summer as that ball just got over the wall in left field.
342 feet off of his, or 92 off of his bat. It traveled 342 feet. Those numbers brought to you by TrackMan. And now a 4-0 lead for Falmouth. Carson Bowen been swinging a hot bat lately and just continues it here into tonight. As they were showing bunt, there was Isaiah Barquette. He takes, the ball bounces in front of Grant J, and it's 1-0. Barquette with a triple his last time up. So we talked about Bowen entering this game with 7 hits. They're all singles. Gets his first extra base hit. Isaiah Barquette also with his first extra base hit in this game. The 1-0 pitch swings and misses at an 89-mile-an-hour fastball from Hartman, and it's 1-1. So Hartman will throw the fastball, curveball, and changeup, working on Barquette, for the first time. Started and played in all 50 games at Stetson this past season, a .309 hitter. 1-1. Takes at knee height, and it's 1-2. Perfect location there at 82 from Hartman. Went with the changeup and now ahead in the count. 1 gone in the inning, 4-0 Falmouth leads. The 1-2 pitch from Hartman. It's rolled softly on the ground towards third. A couple hops into the glove of Naraki, who throws on the run, and it's not in time as Barquette beats it out up the line.
Naraki took a while to throw that ball over there at third base, ran in and allowed Barquette to motor down the line, and a bang-bang play goes the way of the Commodores here.
Yeah, close play at first. Kettleers can't get it, though. It seems like in these past few games they've been able to get each of those close calls at first, but not this time. It's an infield single. As it stands for Isaiah Barquette, he improves to 2 for 2, takes a short lead as Hartman throws, and showing bunt was Jackson Willits. He pulled it back as that curveball missed outside. So the right-handed swinger, Willits, gets his 3rd plate appearance today, walked and scored a run in the 1st inning, struck out in the 2nd. 4-step lead at first for Barquette, and the pitch from Hartman is rolled up the third base line. Hartman will fall over, falls onto the seat of his pants as he was making his way on the third base side of the rubber to try to field that ball. Naraki was right there, could have fielded it, but Hartman called him off, and unfortunately, the second base runner in a row reaches for Falmouth to extend this inning. So they'll have runners on first and second, and the first error of the day on the infield for the Kettleers.
And Hartman just lost his footing there On that bunt attempt by Willits, got over to the ball just as Cleats gave out on him.
1-0 pitch, or excuse me, first pitch to Gavin Keelan is popped up just beyond the infield. Becerra making his way over to regular third base depth just beyond the bag there. Called off Naraki, and he has out number 2. So a pop out on the infield, 1 pitch, 1 out against Gavin Keelan, just what they needed with the runners on first and second who will have to stay put. And now it's Luke Gaffney. So that one actually going down as a single for Jackson Willits. No error on the play for Cotuit. So still some clean fielding so far, as that is the sixth hit of the day for Falmouth, as that's a line shot and backhanded by Naraki, who snares it at third to end this bottom of the 4th inning. What a play on the infield there by Naraki, who swats that down and robs Luke Gaffney of what could have been his 20th hit of the season. So the Kettleers still trailing as we played 4 from Gov Fuller Field, down 4-0. And once more, we'll check in with our sideline reporter, Adele Huffman.
Thanks, Joe. What a catch from Naraki just now. But guess what, guys? The World Series has arrived. Not quite the actual World Series, but 3 of the World Series guys have arrived. Cannon Peebles coming from Tennessee, a catcher DHing today. Luke Hansen from UVA, an infielder, and Cade Fisher, a left-handed pitcher. The World Series is held annually in Omaha at the Charles Schwab Field and ended this past July 24th. And so we're glad to have all 3 of them join us today. But what I really want to talk about is Luke Hansen's hair care routine. So we talked about it a little bit before the game because he's obviously got those blonde locks going. He said he uses only Pantene, but specifically the smooth line. So if you want your hair to look like Luke's, that's what you got to do. And then, Tanner Thatch chimed in with his hair care that he uses salt texture spray for his curls. So 2 guys that have some really nice hair on our team.
So if you're the expert, what do you think is better?
I would probably go neither, but some salt texture spray can never be a bad thing.
All right, well, thanks, Adele. That's pretty cool. Some insight on the hair routines of Tanner Thatch and one of the newest additions to this Cats roster, Luke Hansen. So that's pretty cool. You, of course, new cut yourself, looking great.
I did just get a haircut. Don't have the precious flowing hair like Luke Hansen or Tanner Thatch, but maybe if I grow it out, it'll take me a while. But
Wait, we got time.
got plenty of time.
Jaron Advincula is the leadoff man to face Matthew Dallas. Here in the top of the 5th, he's 0 for 1. Checked his swing at that first pitch, and from the sound of it, it may have tipped into the glove of Bowen. Advincula on it, and the 0-1 pitch from Dallas is a breaking ball that he hits hard on the ground towards second. Routine play for Willits, who charges in and throws on the run to get the first out. Of course, a relatively routine play for him, but virtually every single play hit by Jaron, or every ball hit in the infield by Advincula, the fielder has to rush, and that really causes a lot of fielding mistakes and has given him a lot of hits so far this season, but not that time as he goes back to 0 for 2. Of course, that's always so lethal to have a guy who's dangerous even if he puts it in play with weak contact. So Kian Vu is the batter, takes a fastball up and wide, and it's 1-0.
I think that's why we've seen the success of a guy like Jaron Advincula, even after an 0 for 2 performance today. Still hitting .432, has gotten 6 consecutive multi-hit games, and having that speed and just allowing him to run out balls definitely has been a key factor.
And of course, those 2 strikeouts, that helps too, just being able to put the ball in play by any means necessary. He's done that both times today, a couple rollovers on the infield, but for Advincula, 6 straight multi-hit games. The batter is Kian Vu, though. He's up in the count 2-0 as the next one missed everything and got back to the backstop. So the 2-0 pitch and now the 3-0 misses low, and Kian Vu's ahead in the count 3-0. Excuse me, the 2-0 pitch missed, but now it's a 3-0 count, and he takes a strike 1. So Kian Vu, a pop out on the infield in the 3rd inning. He's 0 for 1. He gets his first game started since Friday night at Bourne, and now he hammers this one foul to elevate the count to 3-2.
Vu's last hit this season came against these same Commodores back on June 25th, went 1 for 3 in that game.
The 3-2 pitch, he gets underneath it and fouls it off again.
Of course, has just had 5 at-bats since that moment. Used as a pinch hitter twice and got the start against Bourne, like you mentioned, Joe.
Now he sends one high into left field, tracking back Luke Gaffney. And into the shadows, he pulls down the second out of this top of the 5th inning. So given a ride by Kean Vu and a good at-bat against Matthew Dallas. But the yard holds it. And there are 2 gone in the top of the 5th. So now back up to the top of the order for Nolan Naraki. He's also 0 for 2. Of course, the Kettleers still searching for their first base hit in this ball game. The pitch, Naraki gets underneath it and fouls it over the press box. So 0-1 the count to the newly minted South Carolina Gamecock. 36 games for the Tigers this past season at Clemson. Now he takes low and outside 1-1. 264 hitter there. Hit a grand slam in just his 3rd collegiate at bat. What a way to welcome yourself to the Clemson team, but now finding his place at South Carolina as the next pitch is popped up into straightaway center field. Charging in is Turley, and he pulls it down after settling under it for out number 3. So the Cats go 3 up, 3 down in the top of the 5th inning. Matthew Dallas has not allowed a hit through 5, and we go to the home half of the 5th on the Kettleers Digital Network. And when we come back, my broadcast partner Alex Rocco will man the controls from here on out. Don't go anywhere on the Cats Radio Network.
Since 1980, the O'Rourke family has been catering Cape Cod clam bakes, making your events delicious and memorable. Founded by Jake O'Rourke, Jake's Clam Bakes has become a beloved tradition, now carried on by his son, Dan. Choose from our menu options, and on the day of your clam bake, their crew will come to your site and steam a fresh, mouth-watering clam bake just for you. It's that easy. Call us at 833-252-6285 or visit our new takeout location at Building 6 on 3821 Route 28 in Marston's Mills. Email us at dan@jakesclambakes.com with your event details, number of guests, date, time, location, and any special requests like a raw bar, homemade desserts, or kids menu. Not catering? Try their takeout menu featuring lobster rolls, smash burgers, salads, sandwiches, and a smoothie bar. Jake's Clam Bakes, making Cape Cod gatherings unforgettable.
Beacon Gardens is a full-service garden center right here in Mashpee. They sell a variety of landscaping materials and seasonal produce to both consumers and landscaping professionals around the Barnstable Village. Stop by and see all Beacon Gardens has to offer at 182 West Barnstable Road in Austerville.
Bortolotti Construction is your go-to provider for all excavation, drainage, and waterworks services. On top of that, they offer landscape filling materials such as sand, native stone, gravel, shells, and more. Serving Cape Cod and the islands for 30 years, Bortolotti Construction is committed to serving its community. Visit at 45 Industry Road in Marston.
Middle of the order due up here in the bottom of the 5th as the cleanup hitter Dylan Carey set to dig in for his 3rd at bat today. So far, he's 1 for 2. Had an RBI single back in the bottom of the 1st and struck out swinging in the 3rd. Attempts a bunt, now pulls back. First offering from Colton Hartman misses high and outside for ball 1. First at bat for Carey against Hartman today. He was the last batter faced by the starter James Elwanger. As the 1-0 pitch misses low in the dirt, as Carey sits in the driver's seat up 2-0. Hartman so far today has thrown an inning and 2/3, has allowed 3 hits, 1 run. That, of course, 1 run coming off the home run by the catcher Carson Bowen. Hartman kicks and deals the 2-0 pitch, chased on and missed by Carey. Count now improves to 2-1. Carey, of course, in that game, the first meeting between these two squads, made a pivotal error on a bunt play. It allowed the Kettleers to take a 3-2 lead. They ended up winning that game 4-2. As Carey takes a curveball low in the dirt, count now goes to 3-1 to the opening batter here in the bottom of the fifth. Falmouth still controlling the 4-0 lead over the Kettleers, looking for their fourth win in the last 6 games. The 3-1 pitch, that one's hit into center field. Tracking it all the way is the center fielder Kian Vu, who makes the play on the run for out number 1.
Yeah, nice job by Hartman to come into this game and really settle things down, other than giving up that home run to Carson Bowen an inning ago. Has just allowed 3 hits, the 1 run, but of course putting 2 runners on base and then immediately drawing some soft contact, or at least one batter hit soft contact. But trusting his defense is something that's been key, and he's been doing that.
Now here's the next batter, Trent Carraway. Looks at the first pitch well outside for ball 1. The right-handed swinging Carraway, 0 for 1 today, has reached on a walk. Flew out to right field, and that was the excellent diving grab by Nathan Hall right down the right field line. As Carraway waves through the 1-0 pitch, count is even at 1-1 here. For Hartman, he's allowed a home run in all 3 appearances so far this summer, so he's been victimized by the home run ball early on. Working out of the windup here, the 1-1 pitch, looked at for strike 2 as he gets ahead of the DH Carraway. Carraway, the Oregon State product, hit .339 this past season, playing in 18 games. The 1-2 pitch on the way. This one hit into the right center field gap. On the run is the center fielder Kian Vu, who makes the grab on the run and crashes up into the center field wall for a loud out number 2, and a heck of a grab by Vu.
Yeah, it was. I mean, Kian Vu closing ground on that one quickly. He was sprinting back to deep right center field. That one given a ride by Trent Carraway, nearly getting all the way to the fence, and Kian Vu tracking it all the way. A great play made in center field by him, who has made both of the plays here in this 5th inning. So 2 up, 2 down so far for Colton Hartman, and that's 4 straight for the lefty.
Now it's the center fielder Gavin Turley digging in. He's also 0 for 1 with a walk and a fly out to Nathan Hall in right field. And Hartman once again, Joe, getting ahead of batters here as he pours in a first pitch strike against the right-handed swinging Turley.
Yeah, you know, that's not really what we saw from James Ellwanger, which we really haven't had to say so far this year. A guy who has entered this game throwing above 60% strikes most of the time.
Curveball low in the dirt. Turley tries to check his swing, goes around here. So 0-2 is the count here. Hartman, 29 pitches, 21 strikes so far, and definitely has done a good job coming in relief of Ellwanger.
Yeah, Ellwanger going 2 1/3, allowed 3 hits, gave up 3 earned runs, also walked 3. That was really the issue for him, and struck out 4 once again.
Hartman nods, gets a sign from his catcher, Jay. Kicks and deals. Looked at on the outside corner for ball 1. Beautiful curveball on the 0-2 pitch, but just misses a tad off the plate.
Yeah, tries to bring it back on the outer edge against Turley, the right-handed hitter, but he doesn't budge.
The 1-2 pitch, kicks and deals. Spike low in the dirt, so the count is even at 2-2 here. Turley, 14 home runs this past year at Oregon State. As the 2-2 pitch taken well outside, as Jay has to make a sprawling grab just to haul in that ball. But the count goes from 0-2 to 3-2 here with 2 outs in the bottom of the 5th. Commodores still lead 4-0.
Well, there was one wild pitch earlier on in this ball game that Jay got a piece of, but other than that has played some really strong defense behind the plate.
The payoff pitch. Spoiled as this one skied down the first base line, and that'll go into the stands, in and out of the hands of a fan.
Tough play to make. They got to look into the sun there, just above first base, and a packed crowd here at Gov Fuller Field.
A lot of fans down the first base line, the home dugout for the Commodores. Fans filling up the third base grandstand here is a swing and a miss by Hartman. A 1-2-3 bottom of the fifth as Colton Hartman goes through the middle of this Falmouth order with ease as we head to the top of the sixth with Falmouth leading 4-0 here on the Kettleers Radio Network.
Discover a treasure of nearly 70,000 books at the Isaiah Thomas bookstore right here in Cotuit. Founded in 1969 and relocated to a restored 1860s Crocker family house in 1990, their shop is a haven for book lovers of any age. Visit the Isaiah Thomas bookstore on 4632 Falmouth Road in Cotuit or contact at 508-428-2752.
When the unexpected happens, make sure you and your assets are insured appropriately. The agents at Leonard Insurance Agency can tailor coverage to meet your needs. Call 508-428-6921 to talk to their licensed agents today.
Since 1995, MK Pasic Plumbing and Heating has been your trusted commercial and residential plumbing contractor in Massachusetts. They specialize in new and rehabilitation work, gas and pipe fitting, climate control, heating, HVAC, oil burner work, boiler installation, radiant heat, forced hot water, air conditioning, and duct and sheet metal fabrication services. Founded and owned by Michael Pasic, a team of 9 skilled professionals is dedicated to providing top quality service. MK Pasic Plumbing and Heating is registered with the Massachusetts Board of State Examiners of Plumbers and the Department of Public Safety. For all your plumbing and heating needs, contact MK Pasic Plumbing and Heating at 508-420-3429 or at 60 Clamshell Point Lane in Cotuit. MK Pasic Plumbing and Heating, proud sponsor of the Cotuit Kettleers.
Top of the sixth here at Gov Fuller Field. Commodores lead the Kettleers 4-0 between the second meeting of these two West Division foes. So returning to the mound is the lefty Matthew Dallas facing the left-handed hitting Tanner Thatch as that pitch runs in tight and drills him. So the second hit by pitch issued by Matthew Dallas as Tanner Thatch makes the walk down to first base.
Yeah, and Thatch really put in a good effort to try to get out of the way of that ball. It'll be the third hit by pitch that he's taken this year, but lifting his arms and probably lucky that that one didn't hit the knob of his bat. Kind of sounded like it did at first, but clearly looking like it hit that back wrist of Thatch. But Cotuit with their first leadoff man aboard in this ball game, and it's in the sixth inning, just when they scored all of their runs the last time these two teams met.
Now it's the designated hitter Cannon Peebles digging in, swinging away at the first pitch, lost this one high and foul over the press box. Dallas has done an excellent job so far today against the Kettleers, has gone 5 innings, struck out 3. He's yet to allow a run as a pickoff move. Thatch diving in head first safely. Peebles and Dallas, teammates at Tennessee, coming off a national title. This past year, Peebles hit .216, another pickoff move by Dallas. Thatch back in standing. So the lefty keeping a close eye on Tanner Thatch, who reached via hit by pitch. Dallas out of the stretch, kicks and deals the 0-1. This one chopped back on the ground up the middle. Second baseman steps on the bag for one. Throw in time to nab Cannon Peebles for the 4-3 double play. A strong play by Jackson Willits, and just like that, there's 2 outs here in the top of the sixth.
Yeah, that one's just tailor-made for 2. Matthew Dallas drawing some weak contact once more, getting the end of the bat of Cannon Peebles and besting him for the second of 3 times at the plate today between the two teammates, but he goes back to 0 for 2 with a hit by pitch and cuts down the first leadoff man of the day for the Kettleers to reach base. So that is huge for Falmouth to try to quickly escape this 6th inning.
Dallas pours on a first pitch strike against Becerra. Dallas working quickly here. Curveball taken at the top of the zone for ball 1. So 1-1 is the count here. Falmouth has 4 runs on 6 hits, 1 error. Zeros across the scoreboard for the Kettleers. The 1-1 pitch to the shortstop Becerra off the end of his bat, foul down the first base line.
So we got Matthew Dallas. We also have Merrick Houston in the division. In the West Division, of course, Merrick Houston playing for Bourne. Just waiting for the time that those two square off. Get your popcorn ready.
The 1-2 pitch. High fastball coming in at 91. Well outside. So the count is even at 2-2. Should be a crazy battle between those two.
Yeah. I mean, got to be someone with the last name Austin, too, to make it 3 Texas cities. I mean, who knows?
Have Austin Overn.
Austin Overn, that's right.
No, it's not a last name, as
No.
Becerra fouls the 2-2 pitch straight back into the net behind home plate.
Someone named San Antonio, maybe.
That might be a little harder to find. The 2-2 pitch on the way to Becerra, lined right at the third baseman, Dylan Carey, for the third out of the inning. So after the hit by pitch of Tanner Thatch, Matthew Dallas gets Cannon Peebles to bounce into a 4-3 double play and the line out by Timo Becerra. We head to the bottom half of the sixth with Falmouth leading 4-0 here on the Kettleers Radio Network. RCA Electric and Generators is dedicated to helping homeowners and building contractors select, purchase, install, and maintain the ideal generator for their specific needs. Since being founded by Randy Agnew in 1990, this Barnstable-based family-run business has grown its reputation by serving all of Cape Cod, the South Shore, and the South Coast. Get in touch today by reaching out to RCA at 508-428-0449 or visit in person at 153 Commercial Street in Mashpee.
Escape the summer heat at Polar Cave Ice Cream Parlor, located on Route 28 in Mashpee, right at the Barnstable town line. Our creamy, homemade ice cream flavors will delight your taste buds. Plus, Kettleers kids get a free comb on home game days. Call us at 508-477-5553 or email info@polarcave.com to learn more. Come chill with us and experience the coolest treats on Cape Cod.
Since 1995, MK Pasic Plumbing and Heating has been your trusted commercial.
For over 40 years, Vollmer & Son Construction has proudly served its community, providing a wide range of construction services, from bathroom renovations to complete home remodels. When you work with Vollmer & Son, you are being taken care of by natives of Cape Cod who support the community by using local suppliers and subcontractors. Vollmer & Son Construction, a proud sponsor of the Cotuit Kettleers. In Falmouth, as the Commodores lead 4-0 over the Kettleers, as some scores around the Cape. YD was throwing a no-hitter through 8 innings, but that staff just gave up a solo home run to Kyle Odis.
They actually just went back-to-back, and it's now 4-2.
Things are getting interesting at YD. Of course, Cotuit being blanked in the hit column here. As Harwich, they have a 13-2 lead over Brewster. That's in the middle of the sixth. Wareham leads Bourne 6-2 in the bottom of the fifth, and Chatham has a 4-0 advantage over Orleans. That's mid-5. The batter here is Donovan LaSalle. Looks at the first 2 pitches from Colton Hartman as they both miss low. So 2-0 is the count here against the right fielder, who's currently looking for his first hit today. He's 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a groundout. The 2-0 pitch on the way, taken beneath the knees for ball 3. So LaSalle looks at 3 pitches and finds himself up in the count 3-0. LaSalle one of 4 strikeouts against the starter James Elwanger, as we'll have time here. Colton Hartman gets a new baseball.
Yeah, fans treated to some good baseball today. You just read off all those scores. A lot of good games, a lot of variety. One blowout, couple of no-hitters going on, or at least one no-hitter now. But fans being treated in this holiday weekend.
So it's a 4-pitch walk of Donovan LaSalle as he reaches to begin the bottom half of the sixth. Just the first walk issued by Hartman today. But definitely some great baseball. These teams playing a home and home. As Falmouth will make the trip to Lowell Park tomorrow to square off against the Kettleers. Digging in is Carson Bowen. He's 1 for 2 with a home run. Puts a charge into this one in the right center field gap. On the run is the center fielder, Kian Vu. That goes off the right center field wall. Getting the wave around is LaSalle. The throw from Advincula is in time. They got him at the plate. What a relay throw from Jaron Advincula in the outfield, throwing a seed in time to nab Donovan LaSalle for the first out of the inning. But standing on second is Carson Bowen with his second hit of the day. But the Kettleers defense keeping it just a 4-0 ball game here in the bottom of the sixth.
You said it best, an absolute bullet from Advincula behind the bag in shallow right center field, delivering that one home to Grant Jay, who didn't even have to move in front of home plate. And that slide in from Donovan LaSalle just stood no chance, as Jay was right there with the tag. An easy call for the umpire to make, and a much needed first out of this bottom of the sixth.
Now it's the first baseman, Isaiah Barquette, digging in. Looks at the first pitch from Hartman for strike number 1. And Joe, we talk about momentum all the time. This is a momentum boosting play by Jaron Advincula, as the next offering from Hartman bounces low in the dirt, blocked by the catcher, Jay. Staying put at second is Bowen. But Advincula 0 for 2 at the dish so far, so not making an impact with his bat, but still making plays in the field with an excellent throw.
Yeah, but a chance hopefully upcoming in this 7th inning. Would be the 4th man to hit in that inning.
There still is a runner in scoring position after the double by Bowen. So 1 out in the inning, 1-1 is the count. Bowen leads off second as Hartman steps off the mound, now steps back on the rubber. Working out of the stretch here, glove set at the belt, takes a look back at Bowen. Now comes home. The 1-1 pitch misses high. So 2-1 is the count.
Yeah, still some work to be done, as you mentioned. Of course, a great momentum boosting play, but it means nothing if you're unable to get out of the rest of this inning.
90-mile-an-hour fastball waved through by Barquette. So the count is even at 2-2 here. Hartman looking for his second strikeout. Falmouth today, though they've put up 4 on the scoreboard, just 1 for 8 with runners in scoring position. Looking to improve that tally here, but they won't do it as Barquette goes down on strikes after the 90-mile-an-hour fastball from Hartman paints the inner portion of the plate as he is set down for out number 2.
Yeah, perfect location. Great frame by Grant Jay. Middle inside, 90 miles an hour. Nothing Barquette can do with that. And he goes back to 2 for 3 on the day. Was the hardest out in this Falmouth order. The first 2 rotations around with the triple and the single. But 2 big outs by Hartman and the Kets in this second half of this 6th inning. Of course, still with the runner on second, but 1 out to go.
So we head back to the top of this Falmouth order as the pitch just slips out of the hands of Hartman. Advancing to third is Bowen, but that'll be ruled a dead ball.
Yeah, interestingly, because Grant Jay was quickly out of the crouch. Nice to see him have that kind of reaction time. Was ready to fire a bullet to Naraki at third, but of course, that one obviously being a balk by Hartman and a dead ball. So the runner would advance to third. Kind of scared Bowen, though. He sprinted over to third, so good effort nonetheless by both guys.
He scampered down that baseline there. Went into a slide and everything, but it is a block on Hartman. So Bowen just 90 feet away from being the 5th run for the Commodores today as they lead 4-0. This ball hit over the head of the leaping Timo Becerra into left field. So it's an RBI single for Jackson Willits as the Commodores take a 5-0 advantage here in the bottom of the 6th.
Yeah, well, that's just a great piece of hitting there from Jackson Willits. Gets it in off the hands and just fights it off. A jam shot, middle in, 90 miles an hour, and just able to get it out of the infield, not trying to do too much with it. And it's more than enough to get the 8th hit of the ball game for Falmouth and 5th run.
Second hit of the day for Willits. Now it's the ever dangerous Gavin Keelan, who looks at a first pitch breaking ball in the dirt for ball 1. Keelan today 0 for 3 with a flyout, reached on a fielder's choice, and a pop-up to Becerra at short. The 1-0 lefty-lefty matchup here. Curveball looked at for strike 1. evening the count at 1-1. Keelan currently in the transfer portal after playing this past year at Louisville, where he hit .339 as pitch low in the dirt. Keelan tries to check his swing, the appeal down. He did not go.
Yeah, Grant Jay can't believe that call, and I mean, it's tough to not agree with him because that one looked like Keelan definitely went around at least 60%. But it's always funny when they check with the guy at second base because it's like there's no angle for you to see the check swing really from there. But I guess the second opinion can always matter.
Pickoff move by Hartman. Willett's back in standing. You make a good point here. The umpire just lined up directly behind Colton Hartman out on the mound. It's Marvick Gomez. So a tough angle to see at, but they deem that Keelan did not go around. As the 2-1 pitch, Willett's taking off. There is no throw by Jay, just couldn't get a handle on that baseball. So Willett swipes second. He moves into scoring position with 2 outs in the inning and the count going to 3-1.
Yeah, just couldn't get a good grip on the baseball with the transfer again. Not the first time we've seen that from Jay this year, but the first stolen base of the day for Falmouth. Willett's grabs second base, so another opportunity for them with 2 outs to keep this rally going, and that 6th run standing on second base now.
The 3rd stolen base so far on the campaign for Jackson Willett. The 3-1 to the lefty Keelan. 89-mile-an-hour fastball looked at for strike 2, so the count runs full here with 2 outs in the inning. Falmouth scored 1 so far in this inning after an RBI single from Jackson Willett made the ball game 5-0. The payoff pitch looked at low and outside for ball 4, so Gavin Keelan, keeps this inning alive with a 2-out walk. The second walk issued by Colton Hartman in the inning. Walked the leadoff man Donovan LaSalle, who was cut down on the double by Carson Bowen after a strong relay throw from Jaron Advincula. Hartman's also allowed 2 hits, the double to Bowen and the single to Willets, and a strikeout looking of Isaiah Barquette. The first pitch to the left fielder Luke Gaffney misses low for ball 1. Gaffney today 1 for 3, singled and later came around to score. That was in the bottom of the first. Struck out looking to end the bottom of the second, and lined out hard to end the 4th to Nolan Araki at the hot corner. The 1-0 pitch breaking ball looked at for strike 1. The count is even at 1-1 here. Dangerous pitch there from Hartman, a breaking ball right over the heart of the plate, but Gaffney decides to lay off.
Yeah, well located curveball up and inside. Gaffney, can't much he can do with that. Lets it go by.
Gaffney hitting .373 this year. Looks at the 1-1 offering low and in tight. He's now up in the count 2-1. Second highest average so far this summer for the Commodores. Just behind the leadoff man Jackson Willets, who's 2 for 3 day. Let's move that average up to .412. Hartman set at the belt. Deals the 2-1 pitch, breaking ball, towering pop-up high in the infield. Getting underneath it is the third baseman, Nolan Araki, who calls off the pitcher, Colton Hartman, for the 3rd out of the inning, but not before Falmouth puts up another run on the scoreboard as they now have a 5-0 lead after the RBI single for Jackson Willets. And before we head to a break, we'll bring on the 3rd member of our team, Adele Huffman, who has more.
Yeah, today we have Falmouth away, but then tomorrow at home, back-to-back against the Commodores. So both of these games will be celebrating the holiday, so it's cool. We get to have 2 July 4ths, basically. But tomorrow, you don't want to miss the parade at 11 a.m. in Cotuit, followed by festivities at Lowell Park. We've got bouncy houses, we've got games. All the kids need to come out and hang out with the players. But, Joe, you've experienced this parade and all the festivities before. What can we expect?
Well, I mean, it's a great time. There's so many people. We can expect the parade in the morning to be packed on Main Street at Cotuit, and then a lot of events going on at the field all day, but of course a baseball game to be played later on in the day as well. So it's been super cool to see, the way that 4th of July goes when there's a home game it seems to be way more hyped, way more people, and just way more fun. And that's exactly what we get to experience again tomorrow.
Yes, Joe, and hopefully we can see Timo rocking those 4th of July socks again tomorrow. That would be great.
I'm excited to see those socks. We've talked about it a lot so far, and definitely excited to see it here. We talked about it yesterday, Joe. Bouncy house again. It's calling our names.
I want
First
to
stop.
see you and Joe on the bouncy house tomorrow.
We've talked about calling an inning from the bouncy house, so you never know what might happen. Excellent stuff once again from Adele Huffman.
It's not a bad idea. Could be hard to see from in there, but up for anything. And tomorrow really should be a great day back at Lowell Park. We've had such great crowds so far this season at Lowell Park. And hopefully the best one yet is coming tomorrow afternoon on Thursday. You know, I was talking about it earlier in the broadcast, how many people are at this game right now. It seems like these are likely some of the most attended games in the Cape League right around the 4th of July. So it's cool to be a part of.
Swinging at the first pitch is the leadoff man, Nathan Hall, who flies it into center field for the first out of the inning. New pitcher in the game for Falmouth, Tom Chmielewski. He replaces the lefty Matthew Dallas. So the Commodores going from lefty to lefty as Hall sat down for the first out of the inning. Matthew Dallas, masterful once again against the Kettleer lineup today. Went 6 innings, did not allow a hit or a run. Walked 2 and struck out 3. As the first pitch from Chmielewski misses low and outside to the lefty Brandon Compton, who's 0 for 1 today. Reached on a walk back in his last plate appearance in the 4th. The 1-0 pitch low in the dirt from Chmielewski, taken for ball 2. Matthew Dallas not allowing a hit against the Kettleers here as Compton looking to break that streak here as the 2-0 pitch looked at for strike number 1. Off-speed pitch from Chmielewski. The 2-1 pitch lined up the middle, and that'll get down for a single. So that goes the no-hitter for Falmouth as Brandon Compton records the first hit of the ballgame for the Kettleers. And he's looking to provide some momentum as the catcher Grant Jay set to dig in for his third at-bat.
And no one better to do it than Brandon Compton, who has been able to reach in now 13 of 13 games started for him on this season. And with one gone, they'll have a base runner to deal with in this 7th frame. So the Kettleers finally getting to the Falmouth bullpen. Let's see if they can manufacture some offense off that.
We saw that was the case in the last time these two teams squared off. Of course, 3 runs in the bottom of the 6th for the Kettleers. A long home run by Charles Davalon made it a 4-2 game that ultimately Cotuit would hold on and win. As Grant Jay swings at the first pitch from Chmielewski, or the second pitch, lines that straight back into the netting behind home plate. The count is even at 1-1 after the first pitch missed in tight. Chmielewski working out of the stretch here, takes a look at Compton, who leads off first. Breaking ball, hammered foul down the third base line. We've seen that a couple of times from Jay here. Hard hit balls, but pulled foul.
Yeah, and another breaking ball that he's just way ahead of, down in the low 70s, and Jay can't quite hold back on it. Pulls the trigger and hits it hard, as you mentioned, but just got to find a way to stay back, and now down in the count 1-2.
Chmielewski pickoff move. Compton back in standing. Jay, before today, 7 strikeouts over his last 2, 8 over his last 3. Compton taking off on the pitch. Jay pops this one high behind the plate. Bowen takes his mask off, but he will run out of room as that ball does not reach the stands but goes foul. The count remains at 1-2 here.
Chmielewski, a Princeton guy, pitched for Harwich last summer, but a local kid from Needham, Mass. This must be pretty cool for him to get the opportunity to play in the Cape League. Has played in the Futures League up here in the Northeast, but his first time pitching closer to home in Falmouth. Of course, was with Harwich last summer, but another opportunity for him.
The 1-2 pitch runs too far in tight as Jay gets plunked by the pitch. So the Kettleers will have runners on first and second after the hit by pitch from Chmielewski, just going right off that front elbow of the catcher Jay.
And this is his first appearance for Falmouth, so not off to a great start as the left-hander out of Princeton. Faced 3 batters so far, given up a hit one, and made one fly out to center field. And this is the exact guy that you want at the plate right now, down 6-0.
Jaron Advincula digging in. 0 for 2 today. The first pitch from Chmielewski low, but called a strike. A good point that you mentioned, Joe. This is the guy that you want up at the plate. Leads Cotuit with a .533 average with runners on base. As he flares this one over the leaping glove of the third baseman Dylan Carey. That'll get down for a single into left field as the Kettleers go station to station here. But Advincula reaches for his first hit of the ball game. Now the bases are loaded for Kien Vu.
Now extending that hit streak, Advincula, 7 games, and that one, I mean, that's just more of what we've seen from Advincula this season. Just tucks it down the left field line, just over the glove of the leaping Dylan Carey at third, and Advincula not making the hardest contact with that ball, but I mean, he gets it done, and he does so once more right there, his 19th hit of the season, and now Cotuit with a golden opportunity to get back in this ball game.
Advincula now 9 for 16 with runners on base as the first pitch from Chmielewski looked at for strike one. Went with a fastball here against Vu, who's 0 for 2 today with a pop-up to short and a fly out to left field. Chmielewski comes set, deals the 0-1 pitch. This one hitting the right field on a line that will get down for what could be extra bases. Vu takes the turnaround first. He will motor in a second. Advincula, he slides it safely as it's a 2 RBI double, for the Kettleers as they take trail 5-2 here in the top of the 7th. But that ball was just roped off the bat of Kien Vu. And a much-needed hit for Cotuit.
Yeah, an absolute rocket on a breaking ball low in the zone. He hammered it to deep right field, pulled it towards the fence there. 103 off the bat of Kien Vu to bring home 2 runners on base. Jaron Advincula held up at third, and Grant Jay, he was running so hard that he lost one of his cleats running past that third base. But he was still able to score, and the throw was close, but it got away from the catcher. But Advincula wisely staying put at third, runner on second now, a chance to keep this inning going now with the top half up.
So digging in is the leadoff man, Nolan Araki. Coming in to score it was Brandon Compton and Grant Jay. Vu stands on second, Advincula stands on third. Araki is the tying run. The first offering from Chmielewski taken at the letters for ball 1. Araki today 0 for 3. The ground out to first, a fly out to left, and a fly out to center. And all it took was Matthew Dallas, the starter, getting removed from this game. Cotuit did not have a hit through the first 6 innings, but have tallied 3 hits so far as the 1-0 pitch looked at for strike one to Naraki.
Yeah, 3 hits in the last 4 batters. And that's after no hits through 6 1/3 innings in this ball game.
Chmielewski comes set at the belt, breaking ball taken high and outside for ball 2. So 2-1 is the count here against the third baseman Naraki, who announced his transfer destination today, attending South Carolina next year, teaming up with Nathan Hall, and those are 2 guys that have spent a lot of time together. Last summer, this summer, and played together, of course, at Clemson, and 2 guys who were best friends. As another pitch runs too far low and in tight as Naraki lays off on the breaking ball. So he sits in the driver's seat up 3-1. The third baseman, Dylan Carey, playing close to the bag, holding on Advincula. Now the lefty kicks and deals 3-1. Naraki thought it was ball 4 and nearly ditched the bat, but that fastball catches the inside corner for strike 2. So the count runs full here with 1 out in the inning. Runners on second and third. Cotuit trails 5-2. Chmielewski kicks and deals the payoff pitch. This one rocketed up the middle. That'll get through into center field. Getting the wave around is Vu. The throw goes into second base, so it's a 2 RBI single for Nolan Araki, and just like that, the Kettleers find themselves trailing 5-4.
Well, the infield playing slightly to the pull side for the right-handed hitter Naraki, so a big hole up the middle of the infield. That's exactly where he put it, straight past the left side of that second base bag and straight into center field. It was hit hard, but not too hard to get to the center fielder too quickly, so both of those runners score easily from second and from third. Cotuit keeping the bats rolling. Now out of the Falmouth bullpen, or excuse me, out of the Falmouth dugout, it's Mike Landry, the pitching coach. We'll see if he goes to the pen. There is one arm warming up, a lefty in the Falmouth bullpen down the right field line. But for Cotuit, this is the exact offensive explosion that you needed. And just as you had mentioned it, they get Matthew Dallas out of the game, and they're finally able to manufacture some hits and eventually runs. But of course, as it has been throughout all of the Kettleers' wins and offensive productions this season, they've just been doing it with runners in scoring position, and that timely hitting has been so key. We saw some timely opportunities earlier in this game, but all of which were with 2 outs. Cotuit putting on all of their base runners with 2 outs in the inning, so they get guys in scoring position, are unable to do too much with them, and so they're eventually left there. But Cotuit getting base runners on early on in this inning, and there's still 1 out on the board for this rally to continue. Looks like Chmielewski will remain in the game to face Tanner Thatch.
5 consecutive base runners for Cotuit off of 4 hits and a hit by pitch. As Nolan Araki clears the bases, he stands on first after his 2 RBI single. Lefty-lefty matchup here as Tanner Thatch fouls the first pitch. Foul right towards us and right toward Ken and Peebles in the on-deck circle. Count is at 0-1. Thatch today 0 for 2 with a strikeout and was hit by a pitch in his last at-bat just an inning ago. Pickoff move by Chmielewski, Naraki back in standing. But a big at-bat for Thatch here. Blasted his 4th home run yesterday. Seen him leave the yard a lot so far this summer as he lays off the 87-mile-an-hour fastball low and outside. The count even at 1-1 here. Chmielewski has struggled so far today. Got the first out of Nathan Hall. Fly out into center field as Thatch, well ahead of that breaking ball, just dribbles it slowly down the first base line. So the count moves to 1-2 here with just 1 out in the inning.
So we've seen so many really aggressive swings from Tanner Thatch in recent games, which is great because he powers it out of the ballpark as we saw last night, a 400-foot homer. But at times when he's swung a little bit easier, he's been able to put the ball in play at a slightly higher clip.
The 1-2 pitch low in the dirt, blocked by the catcher Bowen. Staying put at first base is Naraki.
I mean, there's a couple swings every at bat for Thatch where he really takes a violent hack at it.
Chmielewski set at the belt. Takes a look at Naraki, deals the 2-2 pitch breaking ball. Just dribbled slowly to Peebles in the on-deck circle. So Thatch doing a good job staying alive in this at-bat. The 6th pitch upcoming from Chmielewski. Lefty-lefty matchup here. Chmielewski comes set at the belt, deals the 2-2 pitch low. The low fastball taken for ball 3 is, I feel like we say this almost every at-bat, Joe. Tanner Thatch has worked the count full.
Yeah, leads the team by far in plate appearances with full counts and just really selective up there, fouls off a lot of pitches, and he's done that again here.
The payoff pitch on the way. Towering pop-up over our heads and, well, foul. So we'll do the full count pitch once more. 7 pitches so far in this at-bat. Chmielewski has thrown 27 pitches, 17 strikes, and has only gotten 1 out here in the top of the 7th. The payoff pitch spoiled once again by Thatch fouling it straight into the netting down the third base line.
Well, credit Thatch for fouling off these pitches. They're close from Chmielewski, and this will be the 9th one upcoming.
The full count pitch Taken low and outside, Naraki was running on the pitch, but Tanner Thatch lays off. So it's the first walk issued by Chmielewski as the Kettleers have runners on first and second, still with just one out.
Well, what a great at-bat from Tanner Thatch, who had to look at a lot of pitches in that plate appearance. 9 pitches, and only 2 of them were really non-competitive, both of which found the dirt. It was the 4th ball and the 3rd ball of that count. Everything else pretty close to Tanner Thatch in the strike zone, and for him to have to reach out of the box a few times to tick a few foul is so important. I mean, that big 6'4" frame that he has proving important there as he's able to foul off some pitches and extend the at-bat against Chmielewski, and of course working incredibly hard in that last batter faced for him. So after 29 pitches, his day will be over.
So Mike Landry makes the slow walk out to the mound as Tom Chmielewski's day is over. We'll have more on the new arm after this commercial break here on the Cats Radio Network.
Since 1980, the O'Rourke family has been catering Cape Cod clam bakes, making your events delicious and memorable. Founded by Jake O'Rourke, Jake's Clam Bakes has become a beloved tradition, now carried on by his son, Dan. Choose from our menu options, and on the day of your clam bake, their crew will come to your site and steam a fresh, mouth-watering clam bake just for you. It's that easy. Call us at 833-252-6285 or visit our new takeout location at Building 6 on 3821 Route 28 in Marston's Mills. Email us at dan@jakesclambakes.com with your event details, number of guests, date, time, location, and any special requests like a raw bar, homemade desserts, or kids menu. Not catering? Try their takeout menu featuring lobster rolls, smash burgers, salads, sandwiches, and a smoothie bar. Jake's Clam Bakes, making Cape Cod gatherings unforgettable.
For nearly 2 decades, Coastal Irrigation has proudly provided top-notch irrigation and landscape lighting services across Cape Cod. Starting with just a handful of customers in Cotuit, they now serve nearly all of the Cape. Upgrade your lawn care with their modern irrigation systems. No more dragging around hoses or worrying about watering while you're away. Their systems ensure your grass stays healthy and green effortlessly. Transform your home with Coastal Irrigation's landscape lighting services. Enhance your outdoor gatherings, improve safety, and boost curb appeal with their affordable, low-voltage lighting solutions. Illuminate your walkways and highlight architectural details to make your home shine. Contact Coastal Irrigation at 508-428-1529 or info@coastalirrigation.
Falmouth goes to its 3rd lefty of the ballgame as it's the new reliever Parker Coyle coming into a tough spot with runners on first and second with just 1 out in the inning. And Cannon Peebles due up, who's hitting 3rd in this lineup, making his Kettleer season debut, swinging away at the first pitch, lofting it high and foul down the right field line as it reaches the grassy berm. Fan nearly came up with that catch, but ball just got away from him.
Yeah, a stoppage because somebody got hit with that foul ball. But now play continues. Everyone on the field was reacting to it too. Now they got to get ready.
0-1 pitch taken for ball 1. Snap throw down to second, but diving back in safely is Nolan Naraki. He leads off second, Tanner Thatch off first. Naraki had a 2 RBI single that made it just a 5-4 ball game. And Thatch reached on a walk that ended Tom Chmielewski's day, who recorded just 1 out. Allowed 4 hits, 4 runs so far, but the 2 runners on base are his responsibility. As Coyle gets ahead of Peebles here as he looks at a breaking ball for strike number 2. Peebles today 0 for 2, was hit by a pitch in his first plate appearance, struck out swinging, and bounced into a 4-3 double play. Coyle set at the belt, takes a look at Naraki at second, now comes home with the 1-2 pitch, got him swinging. Cannon Peebles down on strikes for the 2nd time today as Parker Coyle comes out of the bullpen and retires the first batter he faces.
Yeah, Coyle, the primary man out of Arkansas's bullpen for the past 2 years, just finished up his sophomore season there, and 23 strikeouts in 18 2/3 innings pitched for him, and high strikeout numbers, and was a really efficient pitcher, except struggled in SEC play.
Now it's Timo Becerra who swings at the first pitch, pops it high up on the infield. Running in and making the grab is the first baseman, Isaiah Barquette. So a great play by him just to catch that slow diving pop up from Timo Becerra, but not before Cotuit explodes. They put up 4 runs here in the top of the 7th and make it a 5-4 ball game as we head to the bottom half of the inning with Falmouth still leading 5-4 here on the Kettleers Radio Network.
Since 1995, MK Pasic Plumbing and Heating has been your trusted commercial and residential plumbing contractor in Massachusetts. They specialize in new and rehabilitation work, gas and pipe fitting, climate control, heating, HVAC, oil burner work, boiler installation, radiant heat, forced hot water, air conditioning, and duct and sheet metal fabrication services. Founded and owned by Michael Pasic, a team of 9 skilled professionals is dedicated to providing top quality service. MK Pasic Plumbing and Heating is registered with the Massachusetts Board of State Examiners of Plumbers and the Department of Public Safety. For all your plumbing and heating needs, contact MK Pasic Plumbing and Heating at 508-420-3429 or at 60 Clamshell Point Lane in Cotuit. MK Pasic Plumbing and Heating, proud sponsor of the Cotuit Kettleers.
Escape the summer heat at Polar Cave Ice Cream Parlor, located on Route 28 in Mashpee, right at the Barnstable town line. Our creamy, homemade ice cream flavors will delight your taste buds. Plus, Kettleers kids get a free cone on home game days. Call us at 508-477-5553 or email info@polarcave.com to learn more. Come chill with us and experience the coolest treats on Cape Cod.
RCA Electric and Generators is dedicated to helping homeowners and building contractors select, purchase, install, and maintain the ideal generator for their specific needs. Since being founded by Randy Agnew in 1990, this Barnstable-based family-run business has grown its reputation by serving all of Cape Cod, the South Shore, and the South Coast. Get in touch today by reaching out to RCA at 508-428-0449 or visit in person at 153 Commercial Street. It's a new ball game here at Gov Fuller Field as Cotuit scores 4 runs in the top of the 7th on 4 hits, but they do leave 2 runners in scoring position as the Commodores lead 5-4 here in the bottom of the 7th. I'm Alex Rocco, joined alongside by Joe Pratt and Adele Huffman as Mike Roberts goes to his bullpen once again as Aiden Hunter, the third arm used for the Kettleers today as he's making his Kettleers season debut.
Yeah, pitched in 6 games for Cotuit last summer in 2023. Appeared mostly out of the bullpen, all out of the bullpen. 9 2/3 innings, 13 hits, gave up 5 earned runs. That was good for a 4.66 ERA and struck out 11 to 5 walks in just under 10 innings pitched. So nice to see Aiden Hunter back out here for the Kettleers, coming off of a year at College of Charleston where he just finished up his junior campaign. 76 2/3 innings there, had a 3.76 ERA in just 2 relief appearances out of 16 total. So a lot of time for him as a starter, making his way into a starting role after his 22 or 23 season at College of Charleston, his sophomore year, where he made just 2 starts in 26 total appearances. So nice to see those numbers continue to decrease for him, even though he transitioned into a starting role.
So he comes in relief of Colton Hartman as his first pitch to Dylan Carey misses for ball number 1. Hartman goes 3 2/3, allows 5 hits, 2 runs, both earned, struck out 2 and walked 2 while tossing 55 pitches. The 1-0 to Carey, low in the dirt, blocked by the catcher Jay. So Carey quickly up in the count 2-0 here. Carey 1 for 3 with an RBI single, a strikeout, and a fly out to center field. Hunter, his 87-mile-an-hour fastball misses above the letters. So Carey sits up in the count 3-0. Went 1 for 4 the first time these two teams squared off. As the 3-0 pitch, fastball taken for strike number 1 and a big first strike for Aiden Hunter. Hunter this past year named to the All-CAA second team. But it's a 5-pitch walk to Dylan Carey to begin things in the bottom of the 7th, as once again Falmouth has the leadoff man on.
Yeah, third walk to start off an inning in this game for Falmouth so far, and coincidentally in each of those innings they've been able to bring home at least one run. Kettleers can't squander any more right here, down 5-4, and a late surge in that top of the 7th inning brings them to within one.
There it's Trent Caraway, the DH. Looks at the first pitch, low and outside for ball 1. Caraway today 0 for 2 with a pair of flyouts. One to Nathan Hall in right field that he made the excellent diving grab on. One to Kian Vu in center, also walked, but was stranded on second. That came back in the bottom of the first as Hunter pours in a strike to even the count at 1-1. Hunter, working out of the stretch here, comes set just above the belt. Takes a look at the runner, breaking ball low, laid off for ball 2 by Caraway. This is a big spot for Aiden Hunter here, and we talk so much about momentum, but coming in, scoring 4 runs in the top half of the 7th, need a quick inning here to get the bats back out there, as now Hunter misses with a high fastball. 3-1 is the count here against Caraway, who hits 5th in this Falmouth order. Carey leads off first. Hunter set just above the belt. Deals the 3-1 pitch. Puts a charge into this one in the right center field gap, but tracking it all the way is Kian Vu, who makes the grab for the first out here in the bottom of the 7th.
Yeah, Caraway down to 0 for 3 with a walk now. All 3 of his outs, though, hard hit fly balls into the outfield, but a key first out for Aiden Hunter. And now all he needs is a ground ball to escape this inning. Gavin Turley stands in the way, though. He's 0 for 2 reached, also on a walk in that first inning. So Cotuit done a nice job of cutting down these batters in the second half of this game.
The first pitch from Hunter. Off-speed pitch that catches the strike zone on the outer half. To begin the at-bat against Gavin Turley. First time Turley has faced Hunter. As he comes set, deals the 0-1 pitch, taken at the letters for ball 1, even in the count at 1-1. Carey just a short lead over there at first base. Hunter deals the 1-1 pitch. This one popped high in the air. Getting underneath it is the right fielder Nathan Hall, who makes the grab for the second out of the inning. So after the leadoff walk of Dylan Carey, consecutive flyouts of Trent Caraway and Gavin Turley, as that brings up Donovan LaSalle with 2 outs.
You know, other than that RBI double in the 6th and the solo home run, Cotuit pitching done a phenomenal job of responding after giving up 3 in that first inning. 2 runs since then, and that's where 2 of their hits came from. But other than that, the runners that they've been able to put on base, Cotuit has stranded plenty of them.
LaSalle hits this one in the air to right field. Making the running grab is Nathan Hall. So after the leadoff walk of Dylan Carey, 3 straight flyouts by Aiden Hunter as he strands Carey as we head to the top of the 8th. Falmouth leads Cotuit 5-4 here on the Kettleers Radio Network.
Operating on Cape Cod since 1988, Advanced Embroidery has garnered national awards in embroidery and screen printing. They offer screenings on golf shirts, Oxford shirts, jackets, t-shirts, sweatshirts, hats, and bags. Advanced Embroidery will print your company's or team's logos anywhere. Thousands of satisfied customers can attest for Advanced Embroidery's attentive customer service, tight quality control, and quick turnaround time. They're open 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday on 38 Plant Road in Hyannis.
Beacon Gardens is a full-service garden center right here in Mashpee. They sell a variety of landscaping materials and seasonal produce to both consumers and landscaping professionals around the Barnstable Village. Stop by and see all Beacon Gardens has to offer at 182 West Barnstable Road in Austerville.
Bortolotti Construction is your go-to provider for all excavation, drainage, and waterworks services. On top of that, they offer landscape filling materials such as sand, native stone, gravel, shells, and more. Serving Cape Cod and the islands for 30 years, Bortolotti Construction is committed to serving its community. Visit at 45 Industry Road in Marston's Mills or call 508-771-9399.
RC
With 30 plus years of personal injury litigation and insurance negotiation experience, Snow Law Firm is your go-to for wrongful injuries and rightful compensation. Snow Law Firm will secure the maximum amount of compensation available through settlement or trial. Schedule a free case evaluation by calling 508-477-7100.
Nathan Hall set to lead things off here in the top of the 8th. Falmouth leads Cotuit 5-4 as Parker Coyle returns back out to the bunt for his first full inning of work. First pitch looked at for strike number 1 to Hall, who led off last inning with a flyout, and then Cotuit's bats exploded as they scored 4 runs on 4 hits. Also walked once and got hit by a pitch, but Hall quickly finds himself down in the count 0-2 after he fouled off the 0-1 pitch down the first base line. Coyle shakes off his catcher Carson Bowen. Now gets a pitch that he likes, kicks and deals the 0-2 pitch, breaking ball chopped on the ground to the third baseman Carey. Fields cleanly strong throw in time to nab Nathan Hall for the first out of the inning.
Yeah, Nathan Hall led off that 7th inning with a fly out to center field, and then the Kettleers rally started. A really nice job from him just to be able to put the ball in play. You know, hasn't really been his day at the plate as he falls back to 0 for 4, but has been able to make a big difference in the field and has reached once on an error. But Cotuit, their bats coming alive with 1 out in the last inning, and now Compton with an opportunity to do just that.
Lefty-lefty matchup here as Brandon Compton takes the first pitch low. Coyle started out the at-bat with a fastball, but the Kettleers doing all of that damage against Tom Chalesky, who just recorded 1 out, that 1 out of Nathan Hall, and allowed 4 hits on 4 runs. Also walked a batter, hit a batter. And then Coyle came on in relief and got a strikeout of Cannon Peebles and a pop-up of Timo Becerra. The 1-1 pitch taken at the letters for ball 2. So Compton sits up in the count here. Extended his on-base streak earlier with a walk and, of course, singled as he hits this one. Foul down the third baseline. Giving it a run is the third baseman Dylan Carey, who makes the play for the second out of the inning as Carey had to run a long way. But Hall's in the pop-up, and quickly 2 are gone here in the top of the 8th.
Yeah, and Mike Roberts is asking the third base umpire if he caught that one too far outside of foul territory. Of course, we mentioned earlier in the broadcast the amount of foul territory that's here. But there's also a chalk line that goes down either baseline that's further outside than, of course, the regular foul lines. And that's because there are no fencing down the lines beyond either dugout. And so Roberts was asking the umpire if he caught that one beyond that chalk line where fans aren't supposed to cross. But it's a good play, says the umpire, and now still a stoppage before Grant Jay's at bat as Roberts continues to have a few words for the umpire, but the umpire not giving him the time of day. And there's 2 gone in this 8th inning.
The first pitch to Grant Jay pops this one high over the press box and out of play. Mike Roberts still continuing to talk with Marvick Gomez.
You know, the 2 coaches talked before the game about where the boundaries of the field are, so you have to assume that was brought up before the game, and unsure why Roberts is so frustrated because of it, unless he has a good point to be made.
However, quickly Coyle sits up in the count 0-2 here against Jay, who's 0 for 1 with a walk and hit by pitch, but he goes down on strikes for the second time today as he tips the 0-2 pitch right into the glove of Carson Bowen. So it's a 1-2-3 top of the 8th for Parker Coyle as we head to the bottom half of the inning with the Commodores leading 5-4 here on the Kettleers Radio Network.
Discover a treasure of nearly 70,000 books at the Isaiah Thomas bookstore right here in Cotuit. Founded in 1969 and relocated to a restored 1860s Crocker family house in 1990, their shop is a haven for book lovers of any age. Visit the Isaiah Thomas Bookstore on 4632 Falmouth Road in Cotuit or contact at 508 428 2752.
When the unexpected happens, make sure you and your assets are insured appropriately. The agents at Leonard Insurance Agency can tailor coverage to meet your needs. Call 508-428-6921 to talk to their licensed agents today.
Since 1995, MK Pasic Plumbing and Heating has been your trusted commercial and residential plumbing contractor in Massachusetts. They specialize in new and rehabilitation work, gas and pipe fitting, climate control, heating, HVAC, oil burner work, boiler installation, radiant heat, forced hot water, air conditioning, and duct and sheet metal fabrication services. Founded and owned by Michael Pasic, a team of 9 skilled professionals is dedicated to providing top quality service. MK Pasic Plumbing and Heating is registered with the Massachusetts Board of State Examiners of Plumbers and the Department of Public Safety. For all your plumbing and heating needs, contact MK Pasic Plumbing and Heating at 508-420-3429 or at 60 Clamshell Point Lane in Cotuit. MK Pasic Plumbing and Heating, proud sponsor of the Cotuit Kettleers.
Escape the summer heat at Polar Cave Ice Cream Parlor, located on Route 28 in Mashpee, right at the Barnstable town line. Our creamy, homemade ice cream flavors will delight your taste buds. Plus, Kettleers kids get a free cone on home game days. Call us at 508-477-5553 or email info@polarcave.com to learn more. Come chill with us and experience the coolest treats on Cape Cod.
Mike Roberts goes to his bullpen for a third time today, bringing on Gabriel Nard. And Nard, this is his 4th appearance so far this summer and 2nd against the Commodores. First time against Falmouth, went 2 1/3 innings pitched, allowed just 2 hits. Didn't allow a run, didn't allow a walk, and struck out 3. Actually picked up the win in that game and has gotten a decision in all 3 of his appearances, has a 2-1 record. A 5.4 ERA through 5 innings, has struck out 6 batters and walked 2 as he faces the 8-9-1 hitters here in the Falmouth order, with the Commodores still controlling the 5-4 advantage. Nard comes in relief of Aiden Hunter, who just goes 1 inning, as he pours in a first pitch strike against the catcher Carson Bowen. Bowen, such a talented hitter so far today, 2 for 3 with a home run and a double. Of course, on that double, it was Donovan LaSalle who was cut down trying to score after a great relay throw from Jaron Advincula, but quickly 2 strikes from Gabriel Nard. Nard, out of the windup, kicks and deals the 0-2 pitch. Low and outside as a sprawling Grant J keeps that ball in front of him.
Yeah, 8 hits on the board for Falmouth. Half of them owned by 8 and 9 in the order. Bowen 2 for 3 or 2 for 4. Excuse me, 2 for 3 is 2 for 3, and Barquette also 2 for 3 in the on-deck circle.
Nard peers over his glove, deals the 1-2 pitch. Low and outside, 89-mile-an-hour fastball laid off by Bowen. Bowen hitting .250 this season. Went 1 for 4 with an RBI single and 2 strikeouts between the first meeting. Also struck out to end the game against Cam Schulke. Cotton candy skies here at Gulf Fuller Field. Just a beautiful night for baseball here on Cape Cod. The full count pitch, chopped foul right toward us. Joe, you were ready.
All over it. Sorry, just some funny comments from the Cotuit fans sitting to our left. Solid Cotuit contingency here today in Falmouth. Of course, can expect more of that tomorrow.
The 3-2 pitch once again hit foul. Just a little bit more down that third base line. So back-to-back foul balls here from Carson Bowen. Began the at-bat down on the count 0-2. Saw 3 straight balls from Nard. Has fouled off the last 2. The 8th pitch on the way. Here to Bowen. This one hit up the middle. Evades the reaching glove of the shortstop Timo Becerra as it gets into center field. So Carson Bowen has his third hit of the ball game here to lead off the top of the 8th.
Yeah, single, double, and a home run for Carson Bowen in this ball game. Coming off of a great night last night where he wasn't able to get a hit but scored a couple runs and walked twice. And so Falmouth, their bats have really come alive in these last 5 games. It's not the same team that Cotuit saw just over a week ago it was. They've won 3 of their last 5. They've outscored opponents 25-17 in their last 5. So they're averaging around 5 runs a game, which is where they're at right now, and allowing just above 3 runs per game pitching wise. So that's a great combination and a much better month that Falmouth hopes to have. Of course, a difficult month of June, but that's exactly what happened last summer, and they ended up okay making it to the CCBL playoffs.
Went on a 5-game losing streak earlier in June as Isaiah Barquette attempts to bunt, then pulls back as the first pitch from Nard misses outside for ball number 1 to the right-handed hitting first baseman Barquette, who's 2 for 3 today. Bowen, who leads off first base just a triple away from the cycle. Barquette hit a triple in his first at-bat, lays down a bunt down the first base line. Who fields cleanly is Nard, makes the underhand flip to Tanner Thatch. So it's a sacrifice bunt for Isaiah Barquette. Moving up into scoring position is Carson Bowen with 1 out.
Yeah, this bottom of the lineup for Falmouth has just done a phenomenal job today. Bowen 3 for 4, 2 hits for Barquette, and now a sacrifice for him. And to send it back to the top half, it's already worked once today where the bottom half gets on base and Jackson Willits with an RBI already in this ball game. He's also put together a great day at the plate at 2 for 3. So to have your 8, 9, and 1 batting at such a high clip is a big reason as to why they're in the lead of this ball game right now.
Just 2 hits from the 2 through 7 hitters in this Falmouth order. Luke Gaffney and Dylan Carey have recorded those 2 knocks. The 1-0 pitch taken low in the dirt by Jackson Willits, so the count sits at 2-0 here with Bowen, who leads off second. Nard gets a new baseball here. Nard struggled in his first appearance against YD, that coming back on June 18th. Getting just 2 outs, allowing 3 earned runs, walking 2. As this 2-0 pitch, that gets through the left field hole. Making the play is Brandon Compton, but they'll pull up the stop sign over there at third base. So it's runners on the corners with Bowen on third and Jackson Willits, who picks up his 3rd single of the ballgame and now is 3 for 4 on the evening.
Yeah, 8 of those 10 hits for Falmouth coming from 8, 9, and 1 in the order. Just incredible for Jeff Trundy and his Commodores team to get that kind of production, exactly what they're envisioning when you put guys like Barquette and Bowen at the bottom of the lineup. And of course, guys at the top half who can do damage that we know of. Jackson Willits, Gavin Keelan, the man at the plate. And a big opportunity for him to extend their lead.
Keelan swings at the first pitch, skies that foul down the left field line. So 0-1 is the count here to Keelan, who rare off day at the plate, 0 for 3 with a walk. This past year at Louisville hit .339, was named to the All-ACC 3rd team after leading the Cardinals in hits, doubles, and total bases. The 0-1 pitch looked at for strike 2 as Nard gets ahead with the 90-mile-an-hour fastball on the outside part of the plate. Nard comes set at the belt, runners on the corners. Here with just 1 out, Falmouth leading by a run. Pitch low in the dirt, kept in front by the catcher, Jay. So the runners will stay put here, and we've talked about it a lot tonight, Joe. Grant Jay making crucial blocks, and just another one here.
Yeah, that's probably his best one of the game. Of course, with the runner just 90 feet away, a 1-run ball game, this is the time where Grant Jay needs to step up and keep everything he can in front, and just a great job there doing what he can to stop that baseball.
Nard's 1-2 pitch belted down the left field line, but well foul. So the count remains at 1-2 here. Keelan currently in the transfer portal. He's rated the #1 shortstop and #1 overall player in Wisconsin. by perfect game as he fouls a pitch straight back into the netting behind home plate as Keelan making it tough for Nard.
Yeah, this will be the sixth pitch of the at-bat and just a 1-2 count at that. So for Nard, being able to stay ahead and not losing him here is still important. Still in the driver's seat. Just got to find that finishing pitch.
Nard, set at his chest, deals the 1-2 pitch. Chopped right in front of home plate, but foul.
And I mean, that's just the perfect pitch you want to throw there if you're Nard. A 83-mile-an-hour breaking ball down in the dirt. It was in the dirt all the way. And Keelan having to reach way out over the plate just to get a piece of it. So a nice job for Nard, but Keelan with great hands, able to slow the bat down and catch up to it at 84 miles an hour to remain in this count. So now a 7-pitch at bat and still 1-2.
And this is a big at bat here for Nard, with the dangerous Luke Gaffney standing in the on deck circle. The 1-2 pitch fouled straight back into the net once again. 4 consecutive foul balls for Gavin Keelan, but especially with Luke Gaffney, who's 1 for 4 today, hitting .365 this summer just in the on deck circle. It's paramount for Nard to get the second out of the inning here in Keelan. Kicks and deals the 1-2 pitch. This one chopped on the ground, fielded by Advincula. Makes the play. Throw is in time at first base. Coming in to score is Carson Bowen. So Falmouth regains its 2-run advantage after the RBI groundout by Gavin Keelan.
Yeah, quality at bat, even despite not getting a hit and going back to 0 for 4 on the day, but still making a difference is Gavin Keelan reaching on a walk and now a run driven in, an extra run in insurance. So who knows if that proves to be crucial in this game, but any runs that you can get before Cotuit has their last chance to hit will be vital. And they still have an opportunity to extend that lead with Luke Gaffney at the plate. We know how high of a clip that he can hit at, but since that single in the first, he's 0 for 3.
Jackson Willett stands on second as Nard gets ahead of Gaffney here with a high fastball. Called for strike 1. Nard comes set, takes a look at the runner. This pitch low in the dirt, blocked once again by Jay. So Willett stays put at second. Gaffney coming off of a season where he captured the Big Ten Freshman of the Year, hit .349 at Purdue, 13 home runs, 65 RBIs. Entered the transfer portal earlier this summer. As Willits takes his lead off second, not being held on as this one hit on the ground to the first baseman Tanner Thatch. Fields cleanly, takes it to the bag for the third out of the inning. So a nice play by Tanner Thatch that ends the bottom of the 8th, but not before. Falmouth adds on its 6th run as they have a 2-run advantage as we head to the top of the 9th here at Gov Fuller Field. Stay tuned for more here on the Kettleers Radio Network.
Since 1980, the O'Rourke family has been catering Cape Cod clam bakes, making your events delicious and memorable. Founded by Jake O'Rourke, Jake's Clam Bakes has become a beloved tradition, now carried on by his son, Dan. Choose from our menu options, and on the day of your clam bake, their crew will come to your site and steam a fresh, mouth-watering clam bake just for you. It's that easy. Call us at 833-252-6285 or visit our new takeout location at Building 6 on 3821 Route 28 in Marston's Mills. Email us at dan@jakesclambakes.com with your event details, number of guests, date, time, location, and any special requests like a raw bar, homemade desserts, or kids menu. Not catering? Try their takeout menu featuring lobster rolls, smash burgers, salads, sandwiches, and a smoothie bar. Jake's Clam Bakes, making Cape Cod gatherings unforgettable.
Coastal Rentals is the place to go for professional landscape and construction equipment. Whether you need tools and equipment for commercial use or for your own projects, Coastal Rentals has what you need. Purchasing gear is also available. Check out Coastal Rentals today.
8, 9, and 1 due up here in the top of the 9th. Falmouth has a 6-4 lead over the Cotuit Kettleers here at Gov Fuller Field. the first of a home and home here on July 3rd and July 4th, as they're looking to capture win number 5 on the season. As swing away at the first pitch, lofting it high down the left field line is Jaron Advincula. Giving it a run is the third baseman Dylan Carey. That'll drop in foul territory, so it's just a long fly ball for Advincula. Parker Coyle returns to the mound. He's gone an inning and 2/3, has struck out 2. Tossed 16 pitches, 13 strikes. As Advincula, 1 for 3 today, scored a run as he swings away at the 0-1 pitch. That one dribbles foul down the third base line, so quickly the count is 0-2 here. And it's the lefty-lefty matchup to begin the top of the ninth. Coyle, working out of the windup, comes set and deals the 0-2 pitch. This one hit up the middle, right to the shortstop, Keelan. Fields cleanly his throw, not in time. Advincula, with the speed, busts it down the line, picks up his second hit of the ball game. And Joe, once again, another multi-hit game for Jaron Advincula, his 7th consecutive.
Yeah, that's right. Just unbelievable that he's able to do what he has done in his second 2 at-bats of these ball games. I mean, Cotuit offensively against Falmouth, all of their 8 runs being scored after the 6th inning. And for Falmouth, all of the runs, which is now 8 against Cotuit, the same exact number, they've all been scored before the 6th inning. So just interesting the way these two offenses have come alive at different times.
The first pitch to the lefty, Kian Vu, taken low and outside for ball 1 as that pops out of the mitt of Carson Bowen. So a big spot here for Vu, who's 1 for 3 today, has scored a run and lasted a 2 RBI double in his last at-bat. That came in the top of the 7th, the 4-run top of the 7th, as he hits this one on the ground to the second baseman, Jackson Willits, who fields cleanly. Throw is in time to nab Vu, as Willits had to run a long way, but makes the play. Advancing up to second is Jaron Advincula. And we head back to the top of this Cotuit order with Nolan Naraki.
Yeah, Willits having to move deep to his left in the hole and was playing at double play depth trying to turn 2. Good job by Kian Vu to pull it enough to not allow them to turn 2. Of course, with the speedy Advincula on first, would have been tough to do that. But now, with the tying run at the plate, you just bring more importance to that 1 run scored by Falmouth in the bottom of that 8th inning.
It was the RBI ground out by Gavin Keelan as the first pitch to Naraki taken outside for ball 1. Naraki today 1 for 4 with a 2 RBI single back in the 7th inning. Advincula leads off second. Coyle comes set at the belt, takes a long look at Advincula, now comes home. The 1-0 pitch hit up into the air. Getting underneath it is the left fielder, Luke Gaffney, who makes the play for out number 2 as the Kettleers are down to their final out.
Yeah, Naraki got a hold of it, but just barely gets under it and sends a medium depth fly ball into left field. So 3 flyouts on the day for Naraki, 1 ground out, and the 2 RBI single back in the 7th. So Cotuit trying to manufacture some runs in 1 inning other than that 7th frame, and the last chance here, Tanner Thatch.
Parker Coyle came on in relief of Tom Chalesky, who allowed the 4 runs, and Coyle has been excellent so far out of the bullpen, but he starts the at-bat against the left-handed hitting Tanner Thatch. The high fastball laid off for ball 1. Coyle's gone 2 1/3, allowed just the 1 hit to Advincula and has struck out 2. His 1-0 pitch fouled straight back into the net. Count is now even at 1-1. Coyle came on in such a tough spot. Runners on first and second, and then got a strikeout of Cannon Peebles and a pop-up of Timo Becerra. Thatch, the only hitter that Coyle has not faced today. A 1-1 pitch. Fouled straight back, and now the Kettleers are down to their final strike here.
Well, Thatch can work a good battle, as we've seen in pretty much every time he's been at the plate so far this season. And he's going to have to do that here down in the count 1-2.
Advincula leads off second. Coyle set at the belt. His 1-2 pitch flared off the end of his bat. High pop-up on the infield. Getting underneath it is the third baseman, Dylan Carey, who makes the play for the 3rd and final out of the ball game. Falmouth picks up win number 5 on the year as they capture the 6-4 victory over the Cotuit Kettleers. And Joe, just another struggle for the Kettleers to produce offensively. Just 4 runs, all scored in that top of the 7th.
Yeah, we talked about it last night, Alex, where this Cotuit offense, they've been able to have a couple of really big innings that have been enough to win them baseball games. But tonight, with the way that offenses have been able to start to hit this season, of course, you don't really take into account the transition between the college season and the summer season, and having a very difficult June as Falmouth, they got the worst of that transition offensively. And so now with these teams being able to put up 6 runs, 10 hits a game like Falmouth did tonight, those 4 runs, 5 hit games for Cotuit, they're not going to cut it now. And so you're just going to need to rely on your pitching and to rely on your bats to get a few more runs, get a few more hits and more base runners. And of course, not having any hits through the first 6 innings of a baseball game, that's not going to happen every night. And so for Cotuit to be able to put up some runs and fight at the end of this game is promising, but still the offensive output is something that needs to improve, especially after these 2 losses.
And this is something that we have talked about a lot recently, just the one big inning for the Kettleers. And if you take away that top of the 7th, they don't score a run. They only have 1 hit in the entire ball game. And like you mentioned, that just isn't going to cut it. But another thing that we've really hit on as of late, starting behind the 8 ball in games, this is now 5 consecutive games where Cotuit has not scored the game's first run. And once again today, falling from behind, being down 5-0, just was too steep of a hill to come back on.
Well, I think you've seen a lot of these Cotuit pitchers settle into games when they get a lot of runs scored for them on the other side. And so offensively, when the offense has been there for the first 4 or 5 innings of ball games, starters and then the bullpen have been able to settle in really nicely. But when they're pitching against the curve so many times in these last 5 games, it's difficult to shut down offenses that are already in a groove and that are already producing offensively. And so for Falmouth, they had the bats going all night with runs across the 8th, 6th, 4th, and of course that first inning. And it wasn't all on hits. They did it on base runners, on 6 walks. They struck out just 6 times, 10 hits. So they're putting the ball in play a lot. And for Cotuit, with those numbers offensively for Falmouth, going to be really tough to win a baseball game like that. And for Jeff Trundy and his Falmouth Commodores to get the production that you did from the bottom half of the lineup and carry that into the top half was the big difference in this game. 8 for 11 across the 8, 9, and 1 batters in the lineup for Falmouth today. So that is just huge in getting this much needed 5th win for them and 2nd in the month of July. So when you look at the July standings, which are really the most important in a lot of people's books, and to see that Falmouth is off to a 2-0 start, Cotuit off to an 0-2 start, hopefully they are able to get back tomorrow and get back on track in the month of July.
The Commodores have won 4 of their last 6 games, and like you mentioned, Joe, this is a team that you don't really want to face as they're starting to click at the right moment, and the games just mean a lot more, especially in the month of July. But keeping it with the Kettleers, James Ellwanger started today, just really struggled, went 2 1/3 innings pitched, allowed 3 hits, 3 earned runs, walked 3, and struck out 4, and playing from behind and just not getting the production that we've seen from Ellwanger, who's really been consistent on the mound, was a rare sight.
Yeah, it was. I mean, a guy who's been a high strike thrower going into this game. I know we mentioned it a few times, but 62% strikes in his first few appearances out of the bullpen. But getting his first start today, he gives up 3 hits, and that's not really that bad. But you compile that with the 3 walks issued, and that leads to the 3 earned runs given up by James Ellwanger, given his 2nd loss of the season. So for him, there's some things to build on, but of course, running into some issues where he's falling behind in the count, walking a lot of batters. It's the same issues that we saw from him this past season at DBU and high walk numbers in a smaller sample size there. So for Ellwanger, that's what you're working on while you're out here, throwing strikes, trying to be able to dial in your pitches in the zone more often. And he appeared to be doing that in his first 2 appearances. It just got to him today in his 3rd.
And Joe, one final question here. Cotuit Falmouth, they play again tomorrow on July 4th at Lowell Park. Should be an excellent game, but for the Kettleers, they're 0-2 in the month of July. How do they right the ship and pick up win number 1?
I mean, got to get the bats going early on in the game offensively. They didn't do that today. Just 3 base runners in the first, or 2 base runners in the first 3 innings. We already mentioned no hits through the first 6. So that's the easy answer. Throwing strikes could be thrown in there as well. The defense was solid today, but of course, 1 error in the field. It didn't lead to any unearned runs. But tomorrow, you just got to put this game behind you and know that it's a new day, a new pitcher on the mound for the Kets, Thatcher Hurd, making another start. So it should be excited. Hopefully some more good defense and the bats are able to come alive. But it's the first time that the Kettleers have lost consecutive games since the stretch where they went 1-3 to start off the season. And it was a couple of big innings, a couple of big long balls to bring them out of that slump. And so hopefully tomorrow we can expect more of that and maybe a home run to bring them out of this offensive struggle that we've seen these past 2 games.
But that'll do it from Gov Fuller Field. For my broadcast partner Joe Pratt, for our sideline reporter Adele Huffman, for our production crew Jimmy Shantulis and Cam Christie, I'm Alex Rocco. Falmouth victorious against the Cotuit Kettleers as they pick up win number 5 with a 6-4 victory over the Kettleers. Thanks so much for spending part of your Wednesday evening with us. And